cannot believe you.
Are you saying that advance have cured death?
Jog off! We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
Oh, Megan. We're only getting started. Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy. Our main headlines tonight.
Holy shit.
Daddy, it's starting!
哦，好久没有开皮了。等一下哈，皮要调整一下，因为这游戏的画面其实有那么点挤。我到左下角，这边应该不会挡到任何人。好，今天来玩这款 Not For， 我不知道怎么念，不予播出。它其实很久以前就有做过第一章出来，那时候玩完第一章，然后就没有再继续玩下去。后来有出 DLC 啦，可是 DLC 就是没有本主线那么好。然后最近才发现，它的剧情是全部做完了，还多个叫 Life and Spooky 的那个 DLC。那我们就来玩玩看这个，从头开始玩好了，因为已经忘记要怎么玩了。我想找一天把这游戏播完就是，可是最近好像没空，找到应该早点把旅人打了，对吧？因为24号还有那个嘛，那个说故事的那个游戏跟那个20古堡要出，然后贝欧妮塔还没破，所以先稍微熟悉一下这款游戏。好，重新开始。哎，等一下，我好像有2件事。这个游戏的难度还蛮高的，所以我不会选一般模式，可能会再稍微调低一点。因为这游戏玩到后面其实会手忙脚乱。好，声音正常。随便啦，就是我们当实习生就好，不要用故事模式啊，用实习生就好。而且顺便挑战一下用手把。
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
等一下，游戏声音偏大声，我要调小声一点。我怎么记得以前没有这个片场开头啊？等一下，我错过那个调整音量的地方了。我不是想直接调 OBS 的音量，因为到最后都会忘记了。好，音频，好麻烦，好薯条了。这样会太小声了。这样子呢？右转哦，鼠标不是，摇杆是这样的右转 ，OK。RB 是广告 ，RT 是那个信号源。LT 是闭嘴 ，LB 是音量 ，OK， 然后 ABXY，OK， 好，先听这个。
Hi David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate. Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're going to have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry, it's not hard, and I'm going to stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the 4 small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the
ABS
bottom
right.
left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left.
哦，窗外变得好漂亮哦。
Everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again.
我不能开电风扇。
You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any 3 and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again.
Take on 4 old ladies from each.
随便乱播。
Right, the tapes are loaded and we're all ready for when we get to the first ad break. That's great. Any second now, you should be getting a signal through from the studio. Stay on your toes, mate. It's election night, so all eyes are on this room. We do not want to get fired.
At 9 p.m, sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie, The Freedom.
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know seafood makes me go out in costume.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. Going 5, 4.
But now, it's time to join Jeremy Donaldson.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay, we're all good. Next thing is going to be to throw to the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market.
我在熟悉他的操
Top
作。
chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleeves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Meghan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance Headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic
Right,
history.
button
That's
2
all coming up on
in
tonight.
3,
National
2,
Nightly News.
1. Lovely, mate. Next thing is to throw back to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes.
啊，我干嘛？我要切回去了。
No democracy if he shut his
Going in 5.
Here it comes. Switch to screen 1. Lovely, mate.
But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance.
We often get a bit of interference around this time, mate. Keep your eye on the machine at the bottom right and use the right analog stick on your controller to move the wave up and down, keeping the green bit in the white bit.
But critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being
怎么
deliberately
觉得
vague.
好像变不一样了？
The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to
OK，
appeal
对准对准
publicly.
对准，没事没事没
However,
事。
former Home Secretary
Right, it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
To hear the co-leader's acceptance speech.
And 3, 2, 1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody.
Jeremy, I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker
播了吗？
Snatch is running late.
I thought I'd ask him about the election.
Personally, I wouldn't try to
播了吗
confuse it with any big
哦，播了
words.
播了。
That's the same policy we use with you.
I thought that was our little secret.
That's all right, he doesn't remember anything I tell him.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your burgeoning friendship.
Love you too.
Wicked. We've made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multi-cam sequence because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on
对，
whoever
这说
is
话
doing
的。
the talking. 2. Don't don't stay on the same shot for too long.
最多
10
10秒。
seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
还有17秒。
Coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later, we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first,
Get ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
Is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolfe, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to
go to Blunderclatch on screen 3 when she says his name.
Okay.
By none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
为什么主
Right,
持
now
人走
just
掉
try and stay on whoever's
Your
talking.
latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Wrap, that's Peter Jensen, the director. Do you know him? He's a wonderful chap, he really is.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction. Lovely. Now back to Thunder Twat.
I said to Peter,
一脸
what
不
a
屑。
wild ride this has been. And you know what, Megan? I really meant it.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards.
女主持人超不屑。
Those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
That is a beautiful question, Megan. And
然后
not
3
easy
分钟
to
要切
answer.
广告。
Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it?
哎，他这个游戏还多了影子。
Bleeding,
这是版
Been on that shot a bit long.
suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire, the little people. But most of all, I
Remember
think
the
I do it for the
10-second
positive
rule.
change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for
Hào
some
难用啊。
real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well,
政治
now
话
you're
题。
asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, that one should
疯狂上升。
always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the
The
break.
Medicated, which opens next week
Right,
around
they've
the
swapped the
country.
shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
乱切。
Cool, looks like Blunderclatch is losing it in the studio, but we ain't got time for that. There's more interference coming. It's a bit trickier this time, mate. Hold down right trigger on your controller, and as the frequency changes, match it to the white bit by gently pushing the right analog stick to the right.
It's not your fault.
You think I don't know that?
Now we're gonna squash the frequency back by dragging left.
No, Liz, we mustn't. Think of Carol.
根本没空看那些电视啊。
Thanks to you, Miss Flanagan.
Jubbly, mate.
For you, baby.
Next, we're gonna change the amplitude. Same as last time. Hold down the right trigger, but this time move the right analog stick
往
up.
上推。
You told me, but I didn't listen.
哦，
Doctor,
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
you need to see this.
No, don't you?
Right, now let's match it back by going downwards.
好麻烦哦。难怪我记得玩到后面都在手忙脚乱。
The sterility. This formula, this is the key.
Stop it all.
Yes.
Bloody perfect, mate.
真他喵的完美。
We have to ask ourselves.
还有20秒。
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
6、5、4、3、2、1。
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear
Hello,
words.
D.
As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen here is about 2 seconds behind the master screen here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button or the left trigger on your controller for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you've got to do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by
都靠
ear.
耳朵听的。
Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now. As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down. Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live, that's too late. You can use the buttons on your controller to select the screen you want.
7、6。
Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to Advance Headquarters, where the two leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Oh shit, he's pissed.
Shall I
Get ready to
start?
bleep.
Go for it, Pat.
Okay, well, thank you for coming, and, well, where do I start? What a day!
They said we couldn't do
They
it.
certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying southern bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people,
Nice.
you saw right through their shite.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Perfect.
The celebratory pints makes me coarser than a granny's fanny.
Memorably put.
Nailed it.
But to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party.
不是个政党。
A party is what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things.
Party, team spirit, all that bob.
Of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
OK。
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know the sort of probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system
风
in this
卷残云
country.
式的全面改革。
No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine.
That is outrageous.
You're going to pay up. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team, to properly fund health and education, to raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions, but you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So do you posh twats?
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs, the people whose children you raise.
So they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
Nice. It ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
Yes, you're inside.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been, in the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again, just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance, and our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
Right, looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all the help, mate. I've got to go. Ferry's about to leave. Probably won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate.
第一关很简单。
Same old boring politics then.
Is this some weird fever dream?
Well, we're not sure. We're hearing some.
You should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Not coming for a drink?
Nope, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
When the programme's finished, you'll get a broadcast report. It's 3 pages. This first page shows you how well the broadcast went. Each sequence and an overall grade. Remember, grades mean bonuses and they keep the boss happy. If you want to know more about how it went, select more info. If not, select continue to move to the next page.
更多信息。
Right, this is an optional section for when you really want to understand what happened during the show. You've got a graph there showing you what the audience did. They're a fickle fucking bunch. And of course you can really drill into the details if you want to get better at making TV. I never came here, never once. Right, this is the important page.
穷光蛋一个这以前也没有
How much wealth you have overall. That bollocks at the bottom shows you the financial state of our main advertisers. But you don't own any fucking shares. You're a cleaner, for God's sake, so why would you care?
Okay. PC 上升 ，PC 那个吗？先进党怎么会有那个啊？光明会的图案 ，ND 是什么啊 ？RS 又是什么？
This is the last page, and it tells you the state of the world.
世界运转的状况。
And down the bottom there, this one's important. Tells you what Channel 1 currently thinks of you. In other words, what the boss thinks.
老板跟先进党先进党平平，然后老板爱我 ，CHY OK。
Alright, mate. Welcome to the archive. This is where you can have a quick look back at what you've done and how it looked to the public. There's 3 sections: broadcast, rushes, and adverts. Let's start with broadcast.
要看到，我想直接继续了。
Over on the left, that's all the broadcasts that you've done. Choose any one of them and select load tape. Once it's finished loading, you can use the rewind and fast forward at the bottom there to help you get to the bit you want to see.
In a few moments, we'll be going live.
Right, now let's take a look at the rushes.
样片。
This is the rushes room. It's pretty simple. The 4 screens you can see, they're going to show you the 4 signals you got from the studio during the actual broadcast. Differences you can be a combination of them, so you can have a listen to the stuff you weren't allowed to show. Select the broadcast and give it a go. And when you're done listening to the backstage secrets, hit back.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know, seafood makes me come out in pustules.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
好，不管它，只是第二关。感觉它这游戏会藏一些重要的资讯在那个不予播出的画面里。哦，你的画面都变新了耶！团队想要了解你啊，先进党的政府表格，想要获取所有公民的讯息。第一页已经填好了，哈哈哈。姓名艾利克斯·温斯顿，配偶温斯顿，子女查尔斯·温斯顿、苏西·温斯顿。你会在开始一份新工作时，你会工作高效。另一个部门同事向你透露，他一直把机密信息带回家，现在一份资料已经丢失了。你会帮你的同事掩盖他们的违规行为，劝你的同事上报这件事情，立刻检举。有关部门的全体成员都被开除了，他们有人不加。你老板制定的新目标比较高很多，你会早下班回家陪伴家人。谁要加班啊？白痴哦，按时下班。音乐越来越不妙。1年1度的生活就要到，你跟你家的时候邀请你。在聚会当天洗头，我每天都洗头啊。你度过漫长且成功的职业生涯，你要退休了，在演讲退休中，你会列出你的成就跟美好回忆，诚恳的总结公司利弊，重点详叙工作期间遇到问题和挑战，拒绝参加。你看干嘛做那么坏啊？闲暇之余，你喜欢一个人放松，做模型，参与政治或坚持你的信仰，鼓励跟你的孩子培养喜好，加入运动队。我想直播，这个吧。你的理想生活是沉浸在自然美景，探索未知的地方，在主题公园度过充实的一天。当然是浪漫之旅啊！如果我有伴侣的话，重要要确保公民安全、自由、幸福、平等。最重要的永远是安全吧？不可能有东西比安全还要更严重，应该是安全吧？感谢你的配合。敢签什么名啊？鸡掰！这个问卷听起来要超不妙。家事，山姆跟孩子们都上床哦，所以我是老婆。杯子已经旧了。以前都没有这些家里的画面。穷光蛋一个。山姆的妹妹克里斯，她提了一个华丽的手提箱在花园里。我说你帮我个忙。怎么啦？你知道仙剑岛的疯狂行径吧？我们不是说收入排在前1%或其他人没有这些闲钱，当然付得起，可是像我们这样人会变得一无所有。太可怕了，我要怎么帮你？他们要夺走一切啊！我想借用你的护照。为什么？他们把我还有这所有该死的国家的一半人护照都收走。我得离开这，我得离境，我和我的钱都会安全。好吧，给你吧。拯救家人。艾利克斯出了什么事情了？没事了，你继续睡吧。我很快就上床陪你喽。我要跟老公讲啊。理论上要讲对不对？这有那么糟糕吗？好像是的。我们得照顾好家人。那个世界先改变了。我要冒这个险，就做护照比对就好了。找到了吗？给你，祝你一切顺利。哎呦，家事。你躺在床上， 感觉很恐怖啊！这个游戏，它的 DLC 是蛮恐怖的，它讲的是那个小妖怪的故事，导播室里面妖魔鬼怪的事情。
Let's get set up and get on with it, eh? So I can get back to my guests. First of all, let's get the power on. You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on. Right, let's load up the adverts. You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have consequences, don't they?
这个玩具安全吗？爱的抱抱先生。艾伦·詹姆斯，疯狂尼尔，哦，科技护肤霜，干我才不要播这个呢！他既然都是这个我们知道啊，那个玩具会有安全问题啊，所以我们这次就不播了，想播一下不一样的那个艾伦·詹姆斯，然后疯狂尼尔，我们要当反政府分子。OK。
Right, you can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again, and the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These 2 buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them, and they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Now you're in auto headline mode, so if you don't bother to pick a photo before that clock runs out, the machine's just going to pick one at random for you. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts,
政府反过头会不会造成天下大乱？
And we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
Snuggle hugs?
That's the bastard.
Yeah, I wouldn't get one of those. My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon. 10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical free thinker. With the country's wealth creators in a state of panic and unfavourable rumblings already heard from overseas, I'll be asking my guess whether Advance can deliver on even a fraction of their manifesto promises. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehugs. Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash, intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborg-Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pair. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. And judging from the angle and velocity of that spray, it looks like Johnny may have been celebrating a little bit too much. I certainly wouldn't want to be his spray. And grievous bodily charm. With advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more people saying they're scared to walk the streets alone at night, could this be exactly the right time for Advance's new approach? All that and mega more with a group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
OK， 没事，缩起来，我不习惯，然后变大。
5.
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up.
Right.
Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is Right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd, ignorant, sterile and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting? Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't what
And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, we'll be laughing then.
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan.
我们要相信欧美的那个
that isn't going to
游戏
happen
理
in a
论，
democracy.
黑人讲的话都对。
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenscience and opiates.
是又出现了。
Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. They're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
No, of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some
Alan
good.
J.
Jeremy.
I'm actually being paid by them.
Alan
Shut
J.
the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately, I can't understand it for you.
Well, I don't know what she meant by that.
Hey.
Alright, mate, Christ, I'm absolutely fucking flying, I tell you. How's it going? Actually, fuck it, I don't care, I hate the fucking news. Oh, bloody hell, I love this tune, though. Alright, mate, see you later, bye!
Bye.
That's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody. It's little Jakey.
If that sticks, I'll just
5, 4, 3.
每个人都在调戏主播。
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem.
Greg.
We need more support from ministers. What are you doing? We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Not a good time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
Just hang on. No, the problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
这人滑薯条。
You've mentioned your affairs.
No. Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, I totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime.
From your sister, but not from you.
When are you going to realise I'm not?
Jeremy, I am sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife. Or kosh.
So you feel the streets anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly.
外国人
It's
重
all
新
in the
跟吉
Bible.
普。
Look, Leviticus clearly states that... Oh, bugger, hang on a moment. Jeremy, your bloody gimp's escaped. Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
他要挣
And
脱
just to be
自
clear,
由
you
了
think。it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy.
这才有收
Back
视
in your
度。
box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
Oh, sorry, darling. I was spaying the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put him back in the box?
Oh, Clive, you know it's Wednesday. You go back in your gimp space.
And
Off you go.
whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people of
Darling,
this...
where's the padlock?
Oh, hold on just a moment.
Oh, Clive, this simply won't do. Naughty, naughty, naughty boy. Mummy said get
Clive,
in your
I am
gimp
not
space,
having this
didn't she?
again.
Mummy said get back in your gimp space. No! Naughty! You beast, Clive!
他才能自由。
Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the
收
responsibility
视
of
率
the
爆表
criminal. No one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A minus, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality for us. And
You are. Good boy.
uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary, and menacing assault.
He has been.
To talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony.
Cheers, Jez. Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Way! Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalization, as you can imagine. And obviously, Titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Titwank Tony. Way! Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to let you get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Way! I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez.
Sopen!
Yeah, I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. Big Chris.
Oi, oi.
Little Chris. And Vampire Chris. One sec, love. Titwank Tony's on the news. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. Just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
Sopen!
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this?
Sopen! You are joking. Chrissy Freebollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh. Not now, fellas. I'm on the news.
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here. Jesus.
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal
No
there, Tony.
fucking way. Let's believe that.
Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we... Yes, Tony?
也太快了吧
Tony, I mean, we're literally away for 2 seconds. How does this happen, Tony? Can you hear me? Well,
早就准备脱了
thought there a little. Hopefully you, the viewer at home, have managed to glean a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order. Megan will be live with some plucky young thespians. Don't go away.
1 minute back, everybody.
Mate, I ain't got long and I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the vision mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't, though. You won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip. When the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music.
我看不懂什么意思啊
Really banging his head against the wall. Look, it's all right, I've got this. I'm sure he's on his way. Come on, it's welcome back. How hard can it be? This is on you.
10 seconds, everybody. We're going to open on Megan. Camera 2. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome's Black. I'm Megan Wolf.
欢迎回来
And on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled. We
不行，我只能让他毕业而已，我要再更好一点，我要赚多一点钱啊！
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest. I'm the older, more popular one.
为什么全部人挤在一个小椅子上？
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history. Aristotle believed
I just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. We touch our audiences, and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
And teach people about difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
Yeah. That's right. To put into context, I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah, because in a way she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like, maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important.
Yeah,
thanks, Steve. Put it in, coach. Yes, thanks, Steve.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it, that way. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grant?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance arrived at the school.
Yeah,
the
先进的。
headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
Wow, how did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're not very political.
我分数应该满了吧？
I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic mainly, but we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go with this old democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So, let's have a look at a short section of Hey, Friendship.
Friendship.
Dear Diary, I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears.
Tears.
Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone. Alone. Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi Gary.
Hi Gary.
Oh heavens no! It's Gary the Fist! Gary the Fist!
Going somewhere, little first year?
Great. I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning. But will this make me feel better about my violent father?
Violent father. Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. And so important.
So important.
Maths is for losers.
What?
Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, coach.
Keep going, for fuck's sake.
Right, maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money.
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? Oh, my arm's free, coach.
Brilliant, keep going.
Right, who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist. And you're just a sad little girl with 2 gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my 2 new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team. Yeah. And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah.
But I can't fight all 3 of you. And I don't have any friends of my own.
这么都没玩，久没玩，还是觉得很好笑。
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be you. And you could be me.
Or you could be me.
Life can be peachy keen.
那个成语什么意思啊？
If you work as a team.
It's my choice to be mean. So stop now, make a different choice.
然后脱外套。
Hey, listen up, I won't take no crap. Who said middle class girls can't rap? I ain't afraid of your cruel lads. I'm a mother loving rebel, but I still love
maths. 乘二。
Hey, kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think that folks like me probably shouldn't exist, but that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist. I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum for dinner, he had to wait. Oh, where's my dinner?
It's not ready.
Oh, where's my dinner? Woman? Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 It's so damn hard on a council estate.
Life can be peachy.
Yeah.
If you work as a team.
Just work as a team.
It's your choice to be me.
It's my choice.
So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship! Yes!
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Dalton. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
Oh, that was brilliant.
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe that was art.
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but it doesn't make it so.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Friendship!
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
也是序列 B、序列 A 加广播 A 啊，得到一点点奖金，可恶，负债累累。哦 ，PC 持平，其他上升。啊，先进档下降，然后导播满意。OK， 也是看能不能打过我以前玩的那个进度。第8天，哎呦，过了大概1个礼拜这样。你提前到达剧院，山姆在那边等候，打扮得很帅气，你笑了起来。家的门店上面出现2张门票，还有一个克里斯汀印的感谢信，看来你很快就能拿回护照了。演出结束时，这人到底要鞠多少躬？你们排队去买外套，去取外套。山姆手舞足蹈的讲述指挥的滑稽可笑。你们前面的一对夫妇正在讨论无力支付新税单人们的搬迁问题，听起来很糟糕。回到家后，山姆上楼去准备洗睡，你还在哈哈大笑。你注意到14岁的儿子没在家，脸上变条，而且他在朋友家。他明早还要去上学。我相信他要学会独立自主。还有更糟糕的事吗？他不会死掉吧？学校来电啊！你看你工作期间谁会打电话来呢？你好，我是老师。他今天没来上学。有人得解释一下。来换他儿子。温馨提示，感觉很糟糕。亲爱的温斯顿一家，你是第2封有关于资产与财富重新分配计划提醒函，尽快将护照交至最近的机构。 但无法获得应得的国家退步。共同劳动平均分配，听起来好像共产党。紧张的圣诞节，还好我没有播那个玩具的广告。孩子们在拉圣诞爆竹，年迈的母亲在努力让自己保持清醒。你对面是克里斯的空位置哦。圣诞节其实是一种最美好的时光。开心吗，外婆？你没有说话，你看得住嘴。开心吗，外婆？开心，当然开心。你开得住嘴。祝大家圣诞快乐！你知道你有多爱我吗？我怎么有种不好的预感？你知道的，今天我跟我朋友计划去旅行，希望你能资助我一下。你想要多少？我想要几百。你费好大的劲才没有把温过酒吐到你年迈的母亲上。我知道这一大笔钱，亲爱的，3亩差得到，但火车票很贵。我的确就会同意他去。我会想办法。我觉得自己很幸福。干，这样我一定要更加努力的赚钱呢。我现在不是负债累累吗？不行，这一周末要好好赚钱。今天是你们的结婚纪念日，现有财富，钱是什么？没有孩子，没有工作，只有浪漫跟亲情。你好，艾利克斯，我是博斯曼先生。这个周末你需要加班，你的心意诚。我们需要收到消息称，我国跟外国势力日益紧张，境外势力团队必须争分夺秒。我怎么跟山姆说？不行，我需要钱，我要跟爱人道歉。你应该去看他对我多好。不用担心，我会赚钱养家的。同意书。你在读传单的时候，你儿子在你身边晃悠。快加入先进党进取者吧，携手前行。哦，不行，我不能让他去了。我可以直接从学校走到那边，之后姐姐会把我们带回家，所以什么都不用做。我不同意。你很快就会明白了。免费票，听起来很糟糕。同事给我的2张票，艾伦·詹姆斯的真知灼见，前方之路，我们该去吗？不去白不去啊！节目还不错，没有那么有趣。他是一个很有影响公众力的演说家，每个台词留下深刻的印象。你躺在床上好大一会都没睡着，真太吵了。你没笑，而是咆哮起来。我要颠覆国家政权了。好多剧情啊！经过一天漫长工作之后，你回到家，信件被分了几堆，大部分是平常收到的垃圾信件，上面印着你日渐熟悉的先进党徽标，写的紧急立刻回复。亲爱的温斯顿一家，为了实现大型民营企业的国有化干你娘！并将此资源重新分配给这伟大的公民们，合作盟约计划，确保财富归人民所有。我不记得现在没有这个。先进党挑选了3家机构，每户家里都将它成为其中一家合作伙伴，以实现一致的高性能跟财务社会。EOB 股份有限公司旁观者清，无论是化妆品、服装还是时装，都是他们的。尼尔交易有限公司疯狂尼尔廉价好货。 有休闲，何谈快乐？啊，等一下，现有财富准备卖肾，看好惨的。我怎么知道啊？旁观者清是什么意思啊？娱乐公司啊，来尼尔，我们选尼尔好，原价哦。谢谢你的选择。我要卖肾啦，快让我赚钱！我总觉得好像过比上次玩还糟糕。不行，我要认真的播报新闻。等一下，尼尔先嘛，尼尔先。哎，怎样啊
？Good evening, Alex. It's Bozeman here, your boss. While you're powering up and getting the adverts loaded, I thought I should just tell you that we've had one of those public information films from the government, and it's mandatory that you play it. You still have a free choice for the other two, so read those tape labels carefully, but make sure you play the advance advert, preferably at the second.
先播放新西兰广告，最好在第二阶段。没办法放啊。
Sorry, are you saying he chose his imaginary friend in the sky over you?
I don't know why I talked to you.
You're probably just
really不对
10 seconds, everybody. Like I said, all of you.
Did your personality accidentally slip out?
Pricks. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Dawson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
After 3 months of record-breaking approval ratings, could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement? And what would that mean as we go into the future?
We shall overcome. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, doctors Ingrid Svorsborg and Horgensvoord and David Wong announced today that they're considering 2 possible options.
With 2 of the finest minds in science working together, hopes are still high for the eventual return of the team to dry land.
While both options are still on the table, support seems to be growing for a daring escape attempt. If a group of fungus experts can't fix the most advanced craft ever conceived by man, then who can?
Okay.
LaBeouf appointed. As the last Mr. Snugglehogs is found and destroyed, we ask, how could we have been so blind?
Fortunately, this station wisely chose not to advertise Mr. Snugglehugs, and the subsequent disappointing sales turned out to be a miracle, as only 7 children were horribly injured by the lethal toy. How much worse could it have been? Thankfully, we'll never know.
Julia Salisbury, who mobilised numerous government resources immediately after the first blindings, said today that the new advance mark, which must be earned by all new products, would be 100% ironclad guarantee of safety and quality.
Fallen angel? Notorious addict Johnny Hansleeve seems to have reached a new low in his battle with booze, as this recent picture reveals.
Johnny's star certainly lacks its former glow these days, with public concern over his mental and physical health growing at an alarming rate.
Let's hope that the team at the Gentle Touches Rehabilitation Centre can help Johnny get back to his former glory. Johnny's family have asked for privacy during this difficult time. We'll have reporters at the clinic around the clock, so you don't miss a thing.
Is this once celebrated role model about to become the bad boy of sport?
And onwards and upwards. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Rimington's Fist CEO Sophia Rimington today announced a brand new product that already has the markets buzzing with interest.
This groundbreaking product came as quite a shock when it was revealed earlier today, though its critics are sceptical that the young CEO can fulfill her promises.
When only a Flard will do, you need the Flardmaster 5000. That's the slogan accompanying the announcement that has rocked the construction industry this morning. The breakthrough device for aiding in installation is sure to change the way we see the humble Flard.
An exclusive prime ministerial interview coming up later.
and our very own Patrick Bannon live at the first annual Sports Board final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's
National Nightly News.
哎，不行，我要赚钱，我要养家。Paper please。
Makeup. But first tonight, while Advance is certainly proving popular with the majority of the country, who've seen their wealth and standards of living increase considerably, for some, the transition has not been as pleasant.
That's right, Megan. The formerly aristocratic members of our society have had to make major adjustments to come to terms with the new regime.
Robin Short is in Serbia investigating rumours that these previously privileged people may be planning some kind of protest. Robin?
Thanks, Megan.
Okay.
I'm here in Moderate Hatchings to talk to Wentworth and Penelope Somerset Bentley, who were relocated to the house you see behind me after Advance passed the Assets and Wealth Act on their first day in office. Tell me, how are you settling into your new lives?
Well, quite frankly, Robin, we're not settling in at all. Our neighbours are whitewatters.
It's simply untenable. I hope you'll forgive my language, but it's as steaming as a Wednesday hatch basket with too much smadding.
Steady now, Penelope. Sorry, Robin, my sister's under a lot of pressure. She hasn't quite recovered, Robin.
Fuddly-doo. My goodness, that must have been quite a shock.
She really struggles with ribbons, Robin.
Well, at least you've been rehoused in a nice big house.
Big house? This grubby little gaddispatch only has one staircase.
And the breakfast room and the dining room in the same bloody place. Imagine that, having all one's grub in one room. One room, Robin.
So what would you say to the people that feel that your family has had it far too easy for far too long, and that these redistributions are both fair and just?
I hardly think we've had it easy for fussle's sake. Only one of our swimming pools was even heated.
But realistically, what can you do?
Well, you've asked the right waddy question, Robin.
Thank you, Wentworth. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason.
I think our toilet butler was from Swinstead. Dear George. Oh, I wonder what happened to him. I remember! Daddy tried to shoot him in the buttocks and he ran off into the woods.
我很忙哎。
Oh, that's probably my last happy memory, Robin.
Tragic, but what can you do?
We will rise and rebel. We will
窗外变得好漂
scorn
亮。
our revolting rulers with righteous words and rebellious writings. Divest our breasts in an undress bare chest protest.
Oh, what's that?
Daddy! Daddy, it's
Daddy!
something!
Please don't do that. We can't show this on the news.
Right, you buggers! Tally-ho!
Oh my god.
Off too.
Well, at least you are showing some shame.
还拖。
Free at last! Oh, Somerset Bentley, glad to meet you. See, the protest has started already. Nice soft work, boy.
Thanks, Daddy.
He gets that from me, you know.
And forgive me, what are you trying to achieve here?
We just want to be fudding well heard, that's all.
Oh, language, Penelope.
Okay,
We are
没事。
nude, not rude.
现在那个收视率急速上升。
We won't roll over and run away. We will revolt. We will rise again.
Yes, we bloody well will. Stuff and piff pop.
Stop doing that! Daddy, how could you?
Well, shut up and get your
Well, Jeremy, Megan, as this embryonic protest movement takes one in the top ring, it's back to you in the studio. I'm Robin Short, struggling surreptitiously in Moderate Hatchings.
Thanks, Robin. Well, that's certainly a story we'd want to be keeping an eye on.
我们想关注的。
Speak for yourself there, Jeremy, but I've seen enough shaft work to last me a lifetime.
I'm sure you have. But can a naked protest movement ever really catch on? It doesn't seem like the way we do things in this country.
But as I'm sure you're aware, Jeremy, this country is becoming a very different place.
Yes, but seriously, who's going to run around naked in our weather?
Oh, hopefully not you, Jeremy.
Yes, well, there wouldn't be enough canvas for the slogans.
When we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be live from the Sports Board Finals. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
Oh, sorry, I'm busting. Oh.
我们要疯狂播那个尼尔的广告。
She's funny.
Yes, I know. I think it's very endearing.
She wants your job.
She's welcome to it. Why is it raining on my desk?
Alex, Bozeman, we're getting reports in that naked protesters might try and spoil the Sports Board final by waving their fleshy bits about. Try and make sure you don't broadcast it. It's 6 p.m. for God's sake. No one wants to see fannies on the news. Bozeman out.
OK， 闪躲屁股。还有30秒。B。检查你的前列腺。
That's what it says.
Yes, I understand that, but I always say welcome back.
I think we should just keep it as it is.
Well, of course you do. I've got one hack line.
What's that supposed to mean? I didn't write it, Jeremy.
That's all right, fine. Jenny, there's something wrong with the auto cue.
10 seconds.
Oh, I just felt a drip again. Have they not fixed this?
I want to see us fly. It's good for the ratings.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolfe. Coming up later, we'll be speaking to the Prime Ministers about their exciting new healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Nice to see they care.
You're absolutely right, Jeremy. But first, we're going now to our own Patrick Bannon, who's reporting live from the finals of the new game that's gripping the nation, Sports Board. Patrick?
That's right, Megan. You join me live here from the final of the first annual Sports Board Championship. It's been a hotly contested competition so far. I think it's fair to say these two have been dancing around each other all season. First up, we have Ellie Striker. She's the more experienced of our two players today. Striker has got an accuracy of 7, a danger rating of 8, and a 12-month driving ban. Striker's known for her signature move, the lanky hamster. And facing her tonight, hoping to prove himself with a career record of 12 outs, 15 finishes and a divorce pending. It's the wingspan himself, Tommy, the fingernail Harris. Just waiting on the ref now. The slapping ceremony is taking part.
Come on.
Still going on. Striker, go first. Striker, of course, first to start as she won the trivia round earlier on by some margin. The robe. Harris, perhaps the brawn and not the brain. Stupid. Eddie Striker. Nice start there from Striker. She's determined not to let the nerves show. Not after last time. On to Mr. Harris now. Tommy. Using his arm to pick up the ball. Not a bad shot there from Harris. Back to Striker for shots number 3. All right. She's gone to sort of throw under her legs. Not bad if you ask me. Is that contact? Don't know why you can to Harris. Bit of business with the ref, but it got sorted out. Back to Harris now. A ball in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Football. Move back. I'd say that's fair, but what do I know? Oh no, and Harris is not going to be happy with that. So really not a good start. Tommy Harris in round 1. We can only hope that round 2 treats him a bit better. But first, of course, after the argument with the ref section, it's time to change ends. Now we have the ceremonial changing of the ends. And of course, now they go back to the starting positions, as that makes sense.
什么东西啊
Striker giving it large.
Second round, double. Harris.
Winter round 2 now with Harris. Okay, we seem to have some sort of streak on the pitch. I apologise if we broadcast any of that.
不可以裸露画面。
across her breasts and arse. Try and ignore all of that. Security, I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we broadcast any of that. As I said, we're going to get the situation resolved as soon as possible. They're trying to carry on play, but it's proving a bit difficult, and I'm struggling to follow because it's quite an eyesore. And women's body, yeah. All right, great. Okay, so back into round 2 now, and Harris absolutely determined to close that massive gap. Eddie Striker. No, it's just some of the tightest play I've seen ever.
在讽刺没人看懂运动比赛。
Harris. And was that a fitted thumb screw? We haven't seen that since the heats. What a brilliant move. Back to striker. And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, the ground sound. Excellent bit of play here on both sides of the bucket. I don't know about you at home, but I'm finding the technical mastery on display here absolutely blooming jaw-dropping. The ref has spotted something in Harris's neck or head. And Harris is having an absolute shocker. What a miserable start there for Tommy Harris. But he is a late bloomer, of course, the boys said that. And after all, it is a game of two halves, 4 rounds and 7 subgenres. But now, of course, it's time for the half-time show. Sponsored by Remington Smith.
On my whistle, on my whistle.
Nice piece of music here to start the half-time show. Okay, another posh protest allusion.
You're gonna come in.
Apologise for that. We'll do our best to shield you from having to look directly at it. Is running around here with his genitals on display for all to see. And ruining what was shaping up to be quite the dance interlude there. Now he's thrusting himself in Harris's face. Security is on it. And the bucket has been knocked over. I cannot stand it when the bucket gets knocked over. Hopefully he'll get taken out now. Genitals flying around for all to see. Really, if you ask me, not Sunday morning. And out of there, hopefully taken away, never to be seen again.
Final poses. Ball boy cannot be in the final pose.
And a lovely finish there on both sides of the bucket. I wouldn't like to call that one. And as we head into round 3, I'd love to know what's going on in these two players' heads. But unfortunately, because of science, we can't.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Not bad. So that ball boy's giving me the eye all day. I don't know what's going on there. Striker there, not a great start. She looks a bit flustered, I think, after all that swinging around. Back to Harris here.
加油，哈利加
I
油！
wouldn't give to be that ball, am I right, ladies? Tommy Harris. And it dribbled down his arm, which is actually a really good move, because of course if it dribbles down his arm and goes on the floor, it's not going in the bucket. Back to striker. And striker's gone for the animal bonus there, but of course perhaps... And yes, Harris has counted with a tiny bell. That is wonderful play. Of course we've seen that before. Look at her face. She is absolutely gutted. What a mud. That could have been the clincher. What a massive shame.
Harris receives possession now.
Harris to serve now. Harris, of course, undefeated by Kestrel in his last 4 battles. So, there we go. Tommy Harris.
肚子好大。
That's all right. Not bad there. He threw it quite far away from him, which is quite a good idea. Very clever there. Perhaps a little contact, a caution from the referee, who's being, if you ask me, a little bit harsh. Ellie Striker. And she's let the nerves get to her. What the hell was that? You hate to see it, don't you? You cannot believe it. Oh, for God's sake.
Okay.
Like, I mean, this is a mess now. I don't know what I can be doing about this. I mean, sort of breasts and genitals for all to see. I mean, there's only so much I can do. They're sort of everywhere, aren't they? All right, I'll try and carry on. The players are trying to carry on, but of course it's difficult because these protesters, hopefully we can get them taken off soon so we can carry on with the match. Nonsense is going on here. Yes,
We want our money.
yes, very good. Take them away. Bloody wasters, absolute wasters.
不要拉过去啊，白痴！
Oh, jog on!
This is the mime round.
Juggle 不算脏话。
Okay, and now we're going to go into the final round. And of course, as it's a Tuesday, the final round is a mime round. Who could believe it? Nice imaginary shot there from Harris. It really could go anywhere at this point. Really high-level play here from 2 absolute juggernauts of the sport.
什么都没有。
Hold.
The bucket getting moved back to its proper place. About time, if you ask me. She's juggling it around from her hands. Interesting. And she's put it in her mouth like as if it was an egg. And now she's and she spat it out. She did the egg spit. So a wonderful move there, quite late on.
Illegal spit.
From Striker. But she's in it to win it.
Harris's ball.
On it like a car bonnet. Tommy Harris here, having a bit of beef. And he's peeling it as if it were a banana, which is an interesting move. Not sure if he hasn't had his potassium or what's going on today with Harris. And he's throwing it, and the banana was the ball! What a fantastic move there from Harris. Unfortunately, that is the end. What a pathetic, there we go, Jeremy, that is over. How can he look his 8-year-old son in the face tonight? What a lump. We just have to wait for the referee now to announce it to make sure it is all official.
Contestants in, please. And the winner of the first annual Sports Board Championship
第一届比赛
is everyone!
Okay, the ref has agreed once again a win for everyone, including me as my 15th win in the Sports Board Championship. I'm going to be celebrating tonight with my wife and children. Another wonderful victory for me. Here come the on-site security to collect their medals, their 6th and 7th respectively. And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championship. What more is there to say? I'm Patrick Bannon, looking forward to celebrating tonight. And all that's left to say, Jeremy, is back to you in the studio.
Patrick Bannon there at an extraordinary final.
Historic sports board, Jeremy.
I didn't know you were...
Everybody will.
Oh, yeah, I can wrench a doubler with the best of them, I'll have you know.
I certainly wouldn't bet against you.
When we come back, I'll be talking live with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, who apparently have a big announcement you wouldn't want to miss.
That's coming up after these messages.
1 minute back.
Fucking microphone shocked me.
What?
Fucking microphone just shocked me. Where's that sound guy?
Everything okay?
Oh, the mics are just trying to kill us now, apparently.
You'll be fine. You're unshockable.
I'm immune to your cheap flattery.
I'm wearing you down.
Postman again. Just heard from the chaps in maintenance that this storm is causing the odd power surge, and some of your controls might be a bit, dangerous. Now, I know you're tough, and you can take the odd shock for the sake of a perfect news broadcast, but too many in quick succession can stop the old ticker. I'm sure you'll make the right decisions. Postman out.
Seem to have sprung a leak. Well, several, actually.
You're going to need a whole new lining up there. Triple C.
We'll look into it.
Minister, it's so good to see you again.
Miss Wolfe, your star seems to be in the ascendant.
It's a
great time to be alive.
Too bloody right, Peter Clement.
Megan Wolfe.
My, but that's a firm handshake you've got there.
She's tougher than she looks. Am I here?
Here, with Mr. Clement on your left.
Right you are, pet. Is your seat damp?
10 seconds, everybody.
No, mine's fine.
你的座位是湿的，哎，这很恐怖哎。
4, 3.
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Welcome to the National Nightly News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't believe much in titles. It doesn't seem very advanced.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital. Should we be worried?
Oh, no, you definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whinges most.
想要电我。
Who've yet to benefit from the many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be happy.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open.
Someone's dripping on me.
But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts project.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk to the nation about something far more exciting.
Yes, your office briefed us that you have an announcement to make, but they were surprisingly secretive about it.
Let me ask you a question, Megan.
Oh, okay, it's not usually how it works, but...
What scares you? I mean, really scares you?
It's death, Pet. She's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of being human.
Sorry, are you saying that advance have cured death?
That'll be a vote winner. Yep, that was definitely a drop there.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is my close-up camera?
Oh, sorry, yes, it's camera 4 right there.
When I was 13, my mum came and got me from school. We had to go to the hospital. My granddad, he'd collapsed that morning, so we'd all to say our goodbyes. And I went in to see him. He were all frail and pale. And I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said, it's the right time. I don't ever want to be a burden to the people I love.
Was that the last time you saw him?
Nope. 3 days later, we were back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that. He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge while we were watching football. He wouldn't even wait till half time.
That sounds...
It was awful. It were awful for us, and this is the point. It were awful for him. He could see it was destroying me, man, watching him slowly fade away. And he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night, but she couldn't, or she wouldn't. It were a crime, you see. And she didn't want to lose the children, as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did.
就看护嘛。
And now no family will have to. The health service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centres.
The transition centres will handle everything for your last days. The
好恐怖
legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important. This is a service only for people who choose it. For people who feel they run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline.
This microphone pack has just given me an electric shock.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I think it's from my asshole.
Oh, we're still on the air, Peter.
No, yes, sorry. My apologies. all.
Are you not worried that this new system might be open to abuse?
In what way?
Sorry, I've got sacked again. Can I get a little bit of help here, please?
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
Jesus, a raw shell face, fucker! That one was massive. Right, no, this bastard's coming off.
That the older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final days eating gourmet food and drinking fine wine, luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable of... with a rusty twat!
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
For fuck's sake!
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information film tonight. It should tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a breathless pace. It's hard to believe you've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan, we're only getting started.
Hey.
And on that note, thank you both so much for being here. Jeremy.
That's all we have time for tonight. Thank yous go out to our guests. Congratulations to all the winners at the Sports Board final, and we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name is Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night.
And we're out. Good job, everybody.
我们第三次。
So they just... I don't suppose there's any way this could be a good thing.
It's my nephew, so we transitioned the moment I saw the leak.
还行吧，第三次，我没死吧？啊，哔。我觉得我做的，剪辑水平奇差，比靠背哦。我做的那么好，你得到了全部工资，穷光蛋一个。拳头什么东西啊？老板爱我，政府爱我。OK。啊，继续。越来越刺激。后面好像是，这边玩过吗？这段好像没玩过。 负责管小迪社哥们今天放假去，靠北。天数问号，封城篇，疫情。没有，这是新的哦，这是新的，这是新的。
Thank God you're alive. It's Jenny, the floor manager. Are you okay? Alex, you need to get it together. Look at the broadcast screen.
我正在努力啊。
Look at it. That's all we've been putting out since you went down. You have to fix it now. Look left, Alex, out the window. See, they're all over it, little bastards. You're going to need a full charge to clear that many off. Hold down the big button until it's fully charged.
哦，这不是 DLC 哦。 这个超难打的。
Excellent, Alex. We're broadcasting again. They must have built up while you were napping. Usually it only takes a tap on the button to clear one. Look, there's a lone one climbing now. Zap it off before it starts to mess up the signal again. Great. That seems to be the last of them. For now. Right. We're about a minute out. Get the adverts loaded up. I've got to deal with my pet idiot. And Alex, keep your ears open. You'll hear them climbing up the tower. Don't let them build up.
Hey.
This has no credibility, Jenny. No professionalism.
哦，这新的，这新的。
It's not a mess.
这是那个之前我以为是DLC 的那一段。
It's ramshackle and characterful, and I expect you to know the difference. Of course, Megan's place looked lovely, but I can't see it, can I?
Thanks, Jenny. How's lock-in with the boyfriend going?
Decided to take his chances on the wild streets, eh? Rather than endure another romantic comedy.
Jeremy, Jenny says your hair looks stupid.
Yes, I can hear her.
And she says she's not talking to you.
Yes, I know, I can hear her.
Shall I count us in?
Make it so.
Okay, 10 seconds. Break a leg, everyone.
Preferably a furry one.
5, 4, 3.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
开始。
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Snugglefox, it's been almost 5 weeks since all the Mrs. Snugglehugs toys woke up simultaneously in factories worldwide and began searching for their husbands. The Mr. Snugglehugs we had so short-sightedly destroyed. And now, as this photograph suggests, they may be changing tactics.
Built to surprisingly traditional gender stereotypes, the Mrs. Snugglehugs have been arming themselves with a variety of household implements. All the more reason to make sure that cat flap is taped up good and tight.
This frightening new development means that even those previously thought to be relatively safe, like the young and fit, must take care to watch their backs and keep their ears open for the soft steps of sinister feet.
Going stir crazy, with no signs of Mrs. Snugglehug's batteries running out, and the government lockdown now in its 31st day, domestic relationships across the country are taking some unexpected turns.
Dramatic reports are beginning to emerge of uncharacteristically bold behaviour in homes across the country. And we're not talking about the model planes that occupy so much time in the Donaldson household.
In response to a nationwide lack of toilet paper, which was of course raided by the Mrs. Snugglehugs to construct their vast hives, many of the nation's adults have turned to a more childish solution, or at least that's their excuse.
Locked and loaded, Shane Calligraphy Johnny Hamsleeves seems to be taking his own unique approach to being locked in.
Since checking into rehab, not much has been heard from the former role model, but this latest photo leaked by another resident today seems to confirm that all might not be well at Gentle Touches.
It seems that paranoia may have overtaken the residents of the infamous rehab clinic, which this morning declared itself an independent state, claiming it had more than enough sponges to last till next Christmas.
The shape of things to come? In their own version of a lockdown for more than 45 years now, the descendants of Doctors David Wong and Ingrid Svorsborgen-Horgensvoord and their unfortunate team today managed to get a personal statement to the surface using flagellized imaging equipment.
Many of the Svorsborgen-Horgens brood, as they've come to be known, have certainly captured the public imagination, with a recent vote naming Helvetica Svorsborgen-Wongensvoord the most likely to survive a massive electric shock.
Greeting from Dante's Tate, or as we say down here in the family, many mushrooms to you.
Huh?
I don't know what a Mrs. Pluckless Pug is, but they sound like they're causing you guys real problems. We've been trapped down here for 8,961 days now, and all I can say is I sure am glad Mum and Dad chose not to get on that escape craft. they grew me and the rest of the family, we've been getting on famously,
前面
and
故事的后
sometimes
续
Mum stops crying for upwards of 20 minutes. Also, it turns out, at a push, you can eat flards. If you can handle the stomach cramps and the amnesia. Greetings from Dante's Taint, or as we say down here in the family, many mushrooms to you.
It's hard to believe they've been down there so long now.
Everyone knows time moves differently underwater, Jeremy. That's why baths take so long.
That's right. And as anyone will tell you, the deeper the bath,
the quicker the relativistic forces of temporal causality will have a measurable effect upon the fixed dimensional parameters of your environment.
Yes, I've said that many times.
Papers, please. With the lockdown becoming ever more rigorously enforced, having a passport is becoming increasingly important, Alex.
The government caused controversy today by announcing a fresh charge of passport fraud with an imaginative form of punishment for those found guilty of this brand new but incredibly serious crime.
火星
The international community have been critical of Advance's decision to begin branding those found to be abetting passport fraudsters. The red hot metal may seem painful, but I'm told it's actually preferable to most music currently in the charts.
And Advance speaks out. With the snuggle struggle proving a test to governments around the world, Advance HQ released a curious statement this afternoon.
In the accompanying release, they asked us to stress that they have been listening and that this should be taken as a response to how the people really feel.
We've certainly done our bit on this show to contribute to the political climate. But let's not forget, how we behave in our home lives is what really matters.
Let's hope it's not just me who filled out that questionnaire, Jeremy, or we're all in trouble.
Let's play that statement.
Evening. Apparently, we need to have a chat about playing by the rules. So, the other night I were at my local park for research purposes, and there were a bunch of lads having a kickabout without a care in the world. And not only did they refuse to let me join in, they wouldn't even let me have a swig of their white stripe. Laughing and joking they were, like there weren't a national crisis on, until one of them little pink demons followed them home and kicked the shit out of their nan. So, I've got two things to say to you young, fit folks. One, stay at home. It's not for you, it's to protect your Aunt Mabel and Bill next door. And two, always share your booze with your Prime Minister. As my old man used to say, there's only two type of folk. Them who will help you across the road with the shopping, and them who will kick you in the fanny and nick your macaroni. So don't be a pasta snatcher. Stay at home. Have a brandy. And it'll be all over before you know it. Thank you.
Delectable stuff.
Later tonight, Jeremy will be catching up with brave roving reporter Patrick Bannon, while I check in with two friends of the programme who find themselves stranded at opposite ends of the country.
And then, in part 3, there's going to be a quiz. Presumably because there's nothing more important going on that you might like to report on if you were, say, a news programme.
And in a moment, we'll both be asking Sophia Remington how such a trusted brand can have made such a terrible manufacturing mistake.
With what it describes here as help from popular psychic scientist Delia Lywell.
Oh, I like her.
No, you don't. Why do you do that?
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
太累了，我需要赚钱啊，不能再乱搞了。
At least while we're off the air.
好多。爱的抱抱先生，好爽哎！
First tonight, how did we get here? Where are we going? And most importantly, who's to blame?
Joining us from her ranch in Arlingsfield, Milkirky is the CEO of Remington's Fist, internationally respected business Bengali, Sophia Remington.
Thank you for having me, Megan. I'm a huge fan of your work.
And from a crystal healing laboratory, what I assume is a garage in Upper Remington, inexplicably renowned psychic scientist, Dr. Delia Lywell. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Sorry, us?
Myself and the eminent professors.
Is that what you call the voices in your head?
I've always seemed to attract dead scientists. I don't really know why.
The money?
They express themselves to me through ethereal algebra and quadratic predictions. It's all very technical.
No, it isn't.
I concur. Miss Remington, the entire Snugglehugs range will surely go down as the biggest public relations disaster in history, won't it?
Well, of course, that's one world record we would never have sought to claim.
What can you say at a time like this?
There is only one thing that can be said. I'm sorry. We're sorry. From everyone here at Remington's Fist, but especially the dedicated inventors and world-beating engineers at Rimming Toys, we are deeply, deeply sorry. Who could have predicted that letting a child's toy learn how to love could have such unforeseen consequences?
Mary Shelley?
We see you, Sophia Remington. You are preening by a metal vessel, and where you venture, you will see neither land nor sky.
Is that supposed to be the future?
Only the past is concrete. I remember being a child in my grandpa's workshop when he made the first dancing hangman toy. He put it by my bed, and when I couldn't sleep, I'd wind it up and let it go, and I'd watch that happy little executioner just wiggle and wave his tiny noose and dance before my eyes. Grandpa sold thousands of them, on the quiet, obviously, and he used the money he made to found Rimming Toys, which is now just one small part of the global supermassive megacore that is Remington's Fist. Sadly, we lost Grandpappy along the way. He died in a fire at the preschool tobacco factory, another one of his pet projects. But we never lost his spirit of invention.
Yes, I'm not entirely certain what your grandfather's offensive toys have to do with the current predicament.
The spirit of invention, Mr. Donaldson. The passion to create, to problem solve. And that is why I'm here today, to tell you about a brand new product we're launching simultaneously around the world from midnight tonight.
Woo! We said science! Science! We hear its song on the breeze, its breath on the wind, its fart under the covers.
How does she do it?
Well, please, don't keep us in suspense any longer.
It won't be my feature she's making up next.
Remington's Fist is proud to present Snuggle Traps. Safety and security in these dangerous times.
什么鬼东西？
Each box of Snuggle Traps contains 8 devices, all guaranteed to stop a Mrs. Snugglehugs in its tracks. That's enough for a small lawn or 4 window boxes. And you want to know the best thing? They're only $129.99 a box. Now that is affordable peace of mind.
We see you, Jeremy Donaldson.
Not now, honey, I'm mid-pitch. The best thing about Snuggle Traps is they're powered by next-generation Flardinium batteries. So, however long the enemy lasts, these traps will outlast them.
We see you, Mr. Donaldson. You are screaming and yelling. Your friends are crying. They fear you. And
还有40秒。
You're gone.
Oh my god, I just got chills. Did anyone else just get chills then?
I think I did.
I think it's more concerned. I think I'd be more concerned about these traps. Quickly, before we go to the break, these appear to be attractively repackaged landmines. Aren't they dangerous, say, to children?
Oh, hell yeah. These are not toys, but they're explosive fun.
Sophia Remington, Dr. Delia Lywell, thank you for joining us.
When we come back, we'll be taking a look at the situation across the country tonight.
Don't go away. We'll be back after these bandages.
Was that all right?
Oh, yes, Doctor, that was exactly what we...
She seems very nice there, young.
We know times are hard.
Do you think so?
We know that you're scared. But now, more than ever.
Hello, mate. It's Dave. You're not going to believe this, but I've decided to come home.
什么？你要回来了？
Call you back at the next break, and we can talk about how I get me job back. Cheers, Alex. See you, mate.
Isolation idealists. The healthcare heroes. And the lockdown lovers.
Yeah, well, it's been a long time coming.
We say you're still
I will never understand.
什么东西？
Why under your pillow, though?
We need to come together. Every
I
single
support
one of
self-love.
us.
It's the
And
photo of
do
yourself you
the
sleep
right
with I'm struggling
thing.
with.
It was a good day.
Keep buying our
Walking down the street.
Keep buying our brother.
I thought, what a brave young.
Okay, coming back. In 5, 4, 3...
就闭嘴买我们的产品就对了。
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Ruth. Now it's time to take a trip around the country to hear how the lockdown might impact the nation from some friendly faces. Joining me are respected academic Katie Brightman and author of Alan James's Kites, Alan James. Thank you for joining me.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me, Megan.
Thanks, Megan. It really is a pleasure, Katie. I enjoyed our little heated encounter.
I wish I could say the same.
So first off, Katie, how are you coping?
I'm holding up okay. The lockdown directive was so sudden that, like many people, I haven't been able to get home.
Oh no, what happened?
I was staying at a hotel after an international policy convention, and we had a particularly heavy night out. You know what economists are like.
Notoriously hate splitting the bill.
And I overslept, and as you can imagine, I've been here ever since. But there are certainly people much worse off than me.
Exactly. My tour has been cancelled indefinitely, and I've had to refund every single ticket, even the cheap seats.
Oh, Alan, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. People are being quite rude about it. They don't seem to realise I've already spent it filling the beach house with beef.
The crisis claims yet another victim.
So, this is just a reminder that my book, Alan James is Right, is now available.
詹姆斯的帝国。
Unbelievable.
What was that?
You're unbelievable.
So, Katie, how do you think this might affect the economy? Should we be worried?
Very, Megan. Not to sound dramatic, but this could be catastrophic. Unemployment has skyrocketed, and frankly, it will be a miracle if a lot of businesses can survive this.
There you go, scaremongering again, spreading this latest liberal hoax. That's what they want. They want us quiet. Shh. They want us compliant. And they want us inside.
A hoax? How on earth can you say that, Alan?
Well, I haven't actually seen one of these supposed toys. Have you?
Well, no, but...
Did you know 3,000 people die every year from regular toys? That's a lot of people. And this is no different. You're just as likely to be hunted down by a yo-yo or a tennis racket.
He makes an excellent and persuasive point, Katie.
Don't listen to her, Katie. The press are the enemy of truth.
She's agreeing with you, Alan, you absolute shit!
Well, then I must be wrong.
Alan, are you now recanting your statement that these toys aren't dangerous?
People are saying they're just like normal toys, and that simply isn't true. Corrupt media lies.
And Katie, how do you respond to Alan's claims that Mrs. Snugglehugs might be dangerous after all?
I suppose I guess I'm agreeing with him.
Thank you, Katie. I appreciate your support. A lot of folks are saying this Mrs. Snugglehugs situation will all blow over, but it won't.
Yes, right, exactly. We need decisive action from the government. We need huge financial support to protect our workers and our businesses. We need to support the vulnerable, and we need
to repent. Exactly right, Katie. We brought it on ourselves with all our liberal indulgences like art, cake, and healthcare. We need to act now and begin sacrificing our first pet.
Absolutely, Alan. If we can all successfully come together as a community and perform the ritual, hopefully we will appease the great ancient. Katie, could it be any worse?
Luckily, over the past few years under Advance, they've invested heavily into health. So the system can actually bear the strain.
Is it lucky that the Llama Lords have unleashed a horde of man-made monsters on its own people to conceal the enemy within?
Will you just stop for 5 fucking seconds?
The global alliance of fish people are amassing an army amassing an army to kidnap
That's you. That's what you sound like.
But I don't sound like that.
Yes, you do.
You do, Alan. You do sound like that.
And that's why no one wants to be your friend.
I've got loads of friends.
No, you haven't.
I don't think you do, Alan.
Yeah, stop lying, Alan.
I'm not lying. You are.
Oh, good one.
Well, I'm telling.
Alan James. Alan, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. Some real food for thought there from two of the territory's leading minds. Any moment now, I'll be heading over to Jeremy, who is going to be bringing us an up-to-the-minute report of the status of the nation. Over to you, Jeremy.
Thank you for what I'm sure was a reasonable debate which really contributed to the national conversation. Next, out on the streets, someone who's always doing exactly that. It's Patrick Bannon. Are you there, Patrick?
Hello, Jeremy. Yes, hello, I'm here. I'm here live. Apologies for the quality of the broadcast today. Couldn't find men or women brave enough to come and join me, so I'm out here on my own.
Right, and can you tell us what it's like out there?
Yep, I can. It's as you can see behind me, the streets are currently completely deserted. But my question, Jeremy, is just how long? I mean, could there be danger lurking just around the corner, waiting to end the fledgling career of this young, promising journalist before his full potential is even realised? Will he die, underappreciated by management, and frankly, very, very much underpaid?
I don't think there's any danger of that, Patrick. What's that on your jacket there?
Oh, that's actually a sponge. What I've done here is made a snuggle-proof jacket, Jeremy. The network didn't bother sending me any PPE, so I've been forced to improvise. In fact, showing the sort of resourcefulness that would make me an ideal candidate for, I don't know, for example, an anchor position starting whenever they'd like.
From your point of view, Patrick, just how safe are our streets?
Not safe at all, Jeremy, not safe at all. I'd recommend people staying inside, following government advice, and not putting themselves at any risk at all. Unless, of course, like me, it's for groundbreaking journalism reasons.
Mm-hmm. And just where are you, Patrick?
I'm in the street, on the street.
Which street?
I think I'm struggling to hear you, actually, Jeremy, there.
Which street? Which street are you on?
Oh, which street am I on? Oh God. I'm just looking for a sign. There it is. I'm on Bannon Avenue.
Bannon Avenue?
Yep.
Bannon Avenue.
Yeah, no, I can hear you fine. Yep, I'm on Bannon Avenue on the sign, it says there.
Like Patrick Bannon?
Oh yeah, that is like, that's strange, that's a weird sign. I don't know what's going on there.
Where are you really?
I'm on Bannon, Alright, fine, I'm not on Bannon Avenue, I'm at home, to be honest. Alright, fine. Well, I'm in my bathroom, technically, but, you know, I can't face it, to be honest, mate. It's, you know, it's terrible out there. I don't want to go outside. They're everywhere. I'm sorry for lying.
We don't expect any less of you, Patrick.
Can you hear that sound?
I can, yes. I'm no expert, Patrick, but it sounds unmistakably like a tiny fist tapping on your door there.
Oh, fuck, it does. Oh, fuck, Jeremy, shit, no! Oh, bollocks. Right.
Perhaps there's a small queue of tiny fists, each wielding a different gendered household implement, ready to bash in the heads of lying little roving reporters.
No, you're lying, aren't you? Oh, shit, fucking, listen to me, you bastards! If you're out there, just to piss off, you little fucking snuggle fucks! I'm too talented to die! Oh, what the...
我了个大操
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Don't worry, Patrick. I'd say you've got a few seconds before they break their way in there and finish you off.
好可怕
What do you see, Patrick?
Oh呦 收视率会上升的
Thank you, Patrick, for that report.
Thank you, good
showing the nation, and more importantly, management, just where you belong. It's time for another break, but when we come back, we'll be happy to take your mind off the world for a little while, and who knows, maybe even bring you a few smiles. Join us after this. You're damn right. Yeah, I had them delivered.
Hey, what time变
to Bannon Avenue.
What time 变成假的太阳哎 砸头船长挂 重击什么意思啊
Still
啊？
Hey, no, I'm
get
not.
off my wife.
Hey.
I'm not going to. I don't have to. Your child. I'm not.
好忙哦。
I'm not. I'm not. No? No? Oh, 5, 4, 3. Welcome back to the National Nightly. Well, welcome back anyway. We know isolation isn't easy, so finally tonight we have something a bit different for you.
特别节目。
Even though some people felt it's not our job to entertain the public with absolute nonsense, other, more important people overruled those people. So it's time to find out who will National Nightly win and who will National Nightly lose. Fuck off, Jeff! National Nightly lose. So, how do we play? Well, joining me is a man who knows all about playing. It's Tommy Harris. Hello, Tommy.
All right, Johnny.
It's good to
see ya.
And how are you finding the lockdown, Tommy?
What do you mean lockdown?
The enforced isolation of everyone in the country.
Ah, yeah. I think I heard about that actually. Yeah.
You're in bed, Tommy.
Yeah. You called during nap time, so.
Of course, that's my fault. So, why don't you tell us how the game is played?
Well, it's pretty simple, Jeremy, you sausage. I'm going to ask contestants from around the territory 3 questions about what else? Yours truly. And those people are going to get a chance to win a very special prize.
And what are they playing for, Tommy?
Drum roll, please. Jeremy.
Oh.
Thank you. This.
Is that... What is that?
It's my athletic support,
裤裆
Jeremy.
三角裤。
Oh.
But I've signed it, so...
Oh, well then, what a fantastic prize.
Have we got anybody waiting to win this once-in-a-lifetime prize, Jimmy?
I believe we have Angie on the line. How do you feel about winning this man's old pants, Angie?
I've never been so excited, Jeremy. And can I just say, I love you. Both of you.
Well, you've said it now, haven't you?
Oh, Angie, I love you. In a way. Tell us about yourself, Angie.
Well, what can I say? My name is Angie. Always has been.
Hey.
I'm a human woman, and my dental hygiene has been described as acceptable.
Brilliant! Right, well, shall we get this shambles underway?
Absolutely, John. Can I get 30 seconds on the clock, please?
We haven't got a clock.
Yeah, I did ask for a clock. So,
well, why don't you start, and I'll stop you when it inevitably becomes unbearable to watch.
I love it. All right.
I
Here
love
we go.
it.
Time starts. No, now. Question 1. When is my birthday?
The 13th of August at 7:19 a.m.
怎么会有人知道
That is absolutely correct. Question 2. What? I said, what is my favourite colour?
Crushed praline 4.
Correct, the colour of my nipples. And finally, Angie dear, what is my star
哇
sign?
整周11分
That's
钟
a。trick question. You were born outside of the human understanding of the cosmos.
空三小。
Unbelievable, that is correct. Stop the clock.
Wow, that really was tough to watch. How did you do, Tommy?
Well, Angie, my love, you got every single question right. Which of course means you lose and win absolutely nothing. Thanks for playing, Angie. Bye. Do we have another contestant on the line at Jelly Bean?
We do indeed. We should have Sonia Artleach. Are you there, Sonia?
Of course I am, Jamie, darling.
Thank you for being here, Sonia.
Oh, there you are, Tommy. Mwah.
Let me guess, you work in theatre, don't you?
Is it that obvious? What gave it away? Was it the glamour or poise?
It certainly wasn't your inherent sense of humility.
Tell us about yourself, Sonia.
Oh, well, if you must play this game. I am a theatrical agent. I represent the likes of Rudy Beefman, Samuel Coffee Cup, and Jodie Carpetburn, amongst others.
And how's the lockdown affected you, Sonia?
Well, they may have closed the theatres, shut the studios, and boarded the cinemas, but they won't get me that easily.
How are you managing without any work?
Due to a savvy clause in all of my artist contracts, I am able to claim my 15% from their unemployment benefit.
Wow, that certainly is sharp.
Standard stuff, standard stuff.
好恐怖的人啊！
Where are you speaking to us from?
Well, I work from home, you know, to keep costs down.
And who's this?
Oh, well, you know, when they gave the order, I was actually mid-meeting
他们老师吗？
so we've been isolated together.
No fucking way!
What the fucking fuck?
Is that Tommy Harris? I'm a huge fan. Can I just tell you how bloody brilliant you are?
Actually, Jeff, we're about to play a game, aren't we, Tommy?
We got time, we got time.
Well, if it's not too bold, I think I am in love with you, Mr. Harris.
No, it's not too bold. That's all right. Don't worry.
Hey, I'd love to show you some of my stuff. I've been working on
我
some
觉得挺
new
牛逼的
shit.。
Well, at least
彩
you're
虹
already
领
aware.
带，
During lockdown, we've been workshopping some of Jeff's ideas for much younger children, haven't we?
People still let you meet their children, do they?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I've been developing some shows for younger children.
Well, we'd love to see it, wouldn't we, Gerbil?
Absolutely dying to.
Right, so, what do kids love?
Timely child support payments from their absent fathers.
Shallow and overproduced musical numbers?
That's right. Animals! So, I'm trying to address the things that kids need to know, but through a medium that they'll understand. Do you understand?
I think yes. I think so, yes.
Jeff's one of my best clients, aren't you?
I am. Yeah. So, the first one we've been working
太多
on
了
is called The King of the Jungle's Mortgage.
什么房贷偿还
It's
之
about
路
a？ lion who's having problems with his interest rates.
I see. Does he have a broker?
He does. Yes. He's a porcupine. How did you know that?
Well, your work is universal, darling. It speaks to people.
I'm going to say something to you, mate. I think you're onto something here.
Oh, the bear,
Oh,
the bear.
yes, right. This one is much better. So, this one tells the tale of Mr. Bear. Now, Mr. Bear is a very sad bear because all of the other bears don't think that he'll amount to much, and they tell him that his plays are lazy and derivative.
I think you're onto something there.
Now, Mr. Bear is a tragic figure. Picture this. He's at his lowest ebb. The trees are closing in. He can't even face his salmon, can he? But then he meets someone that will change his life forever.
This is fucking gripping.
That's right. He meets a wise old octopus who takes him under his wing and says, "No, Mr. Bear, don't be sad. You're not like all the other bears. You have this ambition and these
我怕会有
dreams."
小玩偶跑出来。
Fucking dreams.
I think I love you, Jeff.
And what you need to do, Mr. Bear, says the octopus, probably doing an 8-armed gesture or something.
What you need to do to find happiness in this crazy old forest is you need to set yourself more
讲好久哦。
realistic goals. It's called Mr. Bear Lowers His Expectations.
10秒原则啊！
Wow. You really have taken yourself to new depths. And what do you want children to take away from this?
Oh, fuck shit, fuck.
What?
I said a more realistic worldview.
Are you all right, Jamboree?
It's Jeffrey. My name is Jeffrey Donington.
No, stop. How does it end? We need to know how it ends.
Well, all the animals learn a thing or two about inevitable mediocrity.
And Mr. Bear settles down near to his parents' cave, stops trying to make his band happen, and he goes into bear telemarketing.
Becomes a bear maths teacher.
Oh, and we end... We end on a big musical number. Oh, there's dancing. It's very repetitive, so it's catchy but not too challenging. Well, if you like, I could go and get my boombox.
Yeah, you know, I might be able to... Hang on. Can we get Angie back?
Why not? The more the merrier, as they say at orgies.
Right, I'll just fill then, shall I? Coming up in a moment, it's the world premiere that nobody saw coming.
Lights!
Or wanted. At all.
Right.
I can only apologise in advance for what we're all about to
被迫忍受这一切。
endure.
You turn this shitting thing up. Well, there's all sorts of creatures down on Dangly Doodle Farm. Old Mr. Octopus with way too many arms. There's Mr. Pig and Mr. Cow. They're always in good moods. But that's 'cause they don't know they'll soon be sliced up into food. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your hopes go to turn into despair. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your dreams go to die. Mr. Raccoon wants to go to the moon. He'll end up as a bus driver soon. Mr. Porcupine thinks he'll read the news at 9. He'll end up as a janitor who stinks of turpentine. Mr. Tiny Mouse thought he'd own a massive house. Ended up in a bedsit where he can't control the louse. Mr. Horse thought he'd go into professional sports. Now he's an alcoholic and he's on his third divorce. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's the place your life becomes an endless questionnaire. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your hopes go to die. Lower your expectations. Maybe you could get a job in telecommunications. No matter how you try, you'll never reach the League of Nations. The best you'll get is middle rank in trading operations. So lower your expectations. You'll never win a Oscar, so there's no congratulations. The future that is coming will not meet specifications, and no amount of visualizations will save you from your own deterioration. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's a tramp who thought he'd be a multi-millionaire. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where self-esteem goes to die. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's the disappointment that is waiting everywhere. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your schemes go to die. That's where your dreams go to die. That's where dreams go to die.
Well, I'm sure we'll all still be singing that tomorrow morning. That's it from us for tonight. Many thanks to all our guests. I look forward to seeing them all again. Eventually. But before we go, Alex, I wondered if I might have a word. You see, I've had my eye on you, friend, and I've got to say I'm not liking what I'm seeing. You keep letting me down, chum. Playing it safe. Making the dull, boring choices. Failing to assert yourself. No one likes a pushover, Alex. Frankly, chum, you're acting like a bit of a wimp. Alex, will you give away your passport so my super rich sibling can abandon us all? Sure. Here it is. Pathetic. Can I have the money we need for food so I can go around the continent on a jolly? Sure, Susie. We can always eat your grandma when we run out of food.
Wouldn't it feel
better to take charge? Aren't you tempted to just lay down the law? You know what's hot, Alex? Other than me, obviously. Confidence. Power. Control. We're all drawn to it like rats to the piper. Don't you care where your son goes at night? You will when you find out. Look, far be it from me to try and lead you down the dark pathway, although sort of is my whole raison d'etre. But imagine, just for a moment, that none of this was real. It was just some stupid game where you could just do it all over again if it all went wrong. Imagine if Sam and Charlie and Susie were just characters. Wow. Think of all the fun you could have. Just being bad, you know.
我想破坏政府啊，这样不够坏啊。
My name's Megan Wolf. Have an evil night.
我傻小啦。
Ugh. Jen, I'm just gonna go smoke. Okay, can you get Bozeman on the phone?
那个姿势看起来好
I
累。
don't care if this is a dream, a bad trip, or a shock-induced coma. I did not
The
sign up to
exclusive
be
new
dressed
collection.
like a
Subscribe
slag,
today.
dotting out wristies for a 20. All right, I'm a professional news anchor, not a fucking bogan. It's bad enough that he makes me do that unconvincing accent the whole time. I mean, look at this. My skirt's so short you can see my jute. Alex, why don't you wake up, You fucking perv.
Wake up, Alex, wake up!
哎，我觉得奇怪嘛，怎么会有这种东西？果然是，啊，我 A 加哎，嗯哼，老板高兴，啊，好了，现在就是正式的没有玩过的地方，猛然惊醒。恢复意识，你眨了几下眼睛来消除睡意。你握住萨姆的手，尝试眨眨眼。苏西不在时，我当然没事的。妈妈，你没事吧？嗯哼，只是救系统稍微休克了一下。哦，我被电了昏这样。私人病房跟护理。哦，博士曼先生付的钱。OK， 还好我还活着。肩负重担，我要怎么赚钱啊？发现厨房的灯还亮着，他好像不知道有迹象。打开厨房，发现萨姆坐在那边，账单跟文件。嗨，亲爱的儿子，看看这些数据，我们已经尽力了。我认为卡珊德拉现在需要一名护士来照顾他。我们根本负担不起啊！哦，我没有钱帮助他。明天也要告诉他们孩子们需要在过滤中心进行预约。哦，看来我还是需要政府的资助啊，要不然我全家就要死光啦。New Pass。查理晚上回到家时，你跟萨姆正在看电视。他不久前已经放学了，天越来越晚了。嗯哼，你跟萨姆道了声晚安，因为你今天早上早起。查理马上贴张新海报，一个拳头。哦，我阻止我的儿子加入政府组织了。一封家书。萨姆外出工作，查理住在朋友家，整个屋子都是你的，点了一杯外卖。今天的电视选的不多，但值得一看。萨姆不喜欢历史剧，茶几底下的闪光分散你的注意力。亲爱的，查理弄丢了苏西的礼物，就能帮忙找一下吗？厄尔吉斯坦拥有 颂扬生活艺术的悠久传统，别做任何诠释，叔叔。干嘛？放火烧家啊？我看不懂是什么意思啊？这什么意思啊？我是不是做错了什么事情啊？快穷死了！然后做梦那一篇还没有那个。哎。
What for? Facial sabotage?
Jenny, problem? I want her fired today, now.
Don't worry, Kath. I'll be all right.
No, it won't be all right, Kath. Pack up your weapons of optical destruction and get out.
法拉德大师。
I mean it, Kath.
运动球。
Stay where you are, Kath. Jenny?
This is not Jenny's decision, Jeremy, or yours.
It'll be all right. I'll talk to Buster.
Oh, good.
疯狂
You
女
can tell him I'll return his wife's casserole dish. She's had
哇，
dinner
电视还
next
坏
week.
掉。
Jenny?
I'm sorry, Kath, you're gonna have to leave.
啊，发生什么
Letting
事？
it go to your head.
She nearly blinded
10
me.
seconds,
I thought we were
everybody.
part of a team these days.
Things are better, Jeremy, you know that. Just stop being so
Going in
high and mighty
5,
and do your job.
4,
You'll have me fired too.
3.
Don't tempt me. Good evening. I'm Megan Wolfe.
And I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The
当权派
World
的粉丝
Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply of oil and gas, food, clothing, and even some medicines. But how should we react? We asked the public.
我听不懂。
What do you think about all these sanctions?
I doubt it make a lot of difference, Pet. I've lived through 2 world wars and I smoke
没有
40
字幕了。
a day. And if that ain't killed me, I doubt this will either.
Thanks, Patrick. Fascinating stuff.
Popular Prime Minister Julia Salisbury has released a reassuringly brave statement in response to the World Council's controversial announcement.
This international declaration is nothing short of outrageous. We are a democratically elected government with massive popular support. We do not recognise these sanctions, and we encourage other socially progressive nations of the world to both resist and ignore them. Advance have struck fear into the heart of the international community by showing that it is possible to have radical change for the betterment of the many. And whilst I wish we could improve other countries as much as we have our own, we do not rely on the help of others to thrive. This country is entirely self-sufficient. We are a team, now more than ever. And this team is on your side.
有怪声音哎。
Thank you.
Defiant stuff. But what do you, the public, think of our government's stance? Robin Short found out.
I was wondering if you could tell me what you think of the government.
What? That shower of iridescent pricks, punishing success and rewarding laziness? They're taking this country down the bloody Swanee. And it's not just me that thinks so. My wife Iris, she agrees.
A Flard Day's night. Following the release of the Flard-Master 5000, production of Flards are at an all-time high, requiring the new manufacturing facility in Grizzleford to move to 24-hour-a-day production.
With people finding more and more uses for the ever-versatile Flard, the team at Remington Cyst certainly have their hands full keeping up with demand.
So, is there anything better than a handful of Flards? We asked Patrick to find out.
算了，开心一下。随
Do you
便选
have
的，
a
我不晓
opinion
得
of。Flards at all?
Oh my god, I love Flards. Doesn't everyone? Do you even remember when we didn't have Flards and we had to rely on words? Oh, I'd never go back.
Pipers at the gates of dawn. Commuters in the capital this morning found themselves surprised and amused by the latest stunt from popular pressure group Disrupt.
Silent protests were held outside underground stations throughout the capital, bringing a pleasantly surreal quality to the morning commute.
Unless, like me, you have a phobia of mimes.
Yeah,
But how do we, as a country, really feel about Disrupt? Robin?
How do you feel about Disrupt?
Ah, well, now you're talking. ruddy hero, showing us not to take it lying down like Iris here.
So you both feel they're a cause worth supporting?
Oh, Iris doesn't speak on mine, but we're pretty sure there's still one in there, aren't we, love?
他不是说打断组织吗？
Wherever
怎么会
it
变
is,
成这种？
it loves disrupt, fighting the oiks for our freedom. And what could possibly be wrong with that?
Do you need me to get you some help?
Bubbling up, intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and Dr. Ingrid Svorsborg-Hawkensford today sent a blueprint of the escape craft in which they hope to finally leave Dante's taint.
With expert opinions of the plan running the gamut from optimistically engineered to that looks like something my granddad made in his shed, it sounds like the unfortunate team are going to need all the thoughts and prayers they can get.
So what should we think about the escape plan? Patrick Bannon again.
So I'd imagine that you think this is a great plan.
Oh my God! How did you know? It's a brilliant idea. I hope everyone gets behind them so that they know that we're with them. In spirit, of course. I can't actually go diving because I'm scared of the salt. I am not a number. Applications finally opened today for the new Advanced Team membership cards, a scheme by the government to allow fast access to all the new public services being introduced daily.
The team membership cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification by all major organisations, including the police, banks and, vitally, pubs and bars.
And of course, there's no charge, Jeremy.
It all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what should you, the public, think about the new team membership cards?
Team membership cards?
Absolutely bloody not. It's the thin end of the wedge, isn't it, Iris? First it's, can I see your identification, sir? And then it's, would you mind bending over the table, sir? So Sergeant State Educated and Constable Regional Accent here can stick their truncheon up your derriere.
Oh, crikey!
They should call them what they are. They're bloody ID cards. Oh, for Christ's sake, what is it, Iris?
Oh, I'm really not happy, Algernon! I'm so sorry. Crikey.
And finally tonight, game of two halves. Fresh out of rehab, repentant celebrity sportsman Johnny Hamsleeves is promising to turn over a new leaf.
In a surprisingly energetic appearance on the Whitney Chinwag show this morning, Johnny showed everyone he's certainly full of life and raring to go.
You better not try that on our sofas. I doubt they'll survive the frenzy.
But what should we think of this exuberant behaviour? Patrick?
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Wise words there.
Later tonight, in a bit of a switcheroo, it'll be Jeremy in the culture chair, spitting rhymes with popular rapper Jay Zus. And then we'll both be chatting with a familiar team of thespians set to take the nation by storm again.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News.
Hey, 我靠，这种时候来。
No, it's Bannon.
OK， 没事没事。
First tonight, thankfully, some news as we return to our main story.
The World Council today agreed that punitive and potentially illegal sanctions should be imposed upon this country. The sanctions, which come into effect immediately, aim to stop the flow of food, fuel and even some medicines from reaching your pockets.
Tonight, we have guests from across the continent to discuss this unprecedented situation. For advance, Peter Clement is at his home in Lamfordshire. Are you there, Peter?
Yes, I can hear you, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
A momentous day, Prime Minister. Are you shaken?
Oh, I don't scare that easy, I'm afraid, old son. And neither do the people of this country.
Well, joining us is Ivan Vodovich, Foreign Minister of Urkistan. Ivan, thank you for being here.
Great pleasure. You, Megan Wolf, are like strongest guard at Labour camp who wake up inside body of crazy, expensive prostitute. In my country, you will be worshipped as a god.
Okay. Minister, as one of those arguing most strongly for these sanctions, how do you feel about Advance's defiant stance?
Advance is like man who think he have big career in movies land, when actually he in dirty sanitarium, screaming at mirror and holding tiny penis in hand.
He's clearly not from Svenland, then. We have like some of the cleanest mental health facilities in the continent, yeah?
And welcome to Svenland's Minister of Mojo, Björk. I'm sorry, we don't appear to have your surname.
It's just Björk, yeah. We don't use things like socially divisive surnames here, yeah.
Minister?
It's just Björk, yeah.
Right, Björk. Your country spoke in favour of advance at the World Council today, but you were noticeably absent when it came to the actual vote.
Well, what a surprise. The hippies didn't show up for the fight.
Actually, that's quite racist, because if you must know, we were going to go to the whole, vote thing, yeah? But it's actually the Festival of Feuerlands here at the moment, where we honor the old generations. So, we all had to work our grandparents' gleania whilst the vote was happening. And that's a really, really time-consuming process, actually.
You're like sissy, you have this expression, sissy man. It's like man with tiny penis who like to wash more than once a week.
Actually, that's quite homophobic, yeah.
Oh, stop winding him up, Ivan. We're not back at the Grange now. Sorry, Jeremy. Ivan and I used to play golf back in my media days.
Yeah, he always wins.
Nothing gives him greater pleasure than grinding people's gears. The more publicly, the better.
Peter, you're like man with tiny penis. Tiny penis. But actually, he discovered that. Oh, could it be? No, it's tiny penis.
Ivan's just worried that when the rest of the world sees how well we're doing, they'll notice all that dosh that he's got squirreled away. Because that's what these sanctions are, Megan. They're the last pathetic gasp of an establishment in collapse. Wolves at the gates, Ivan, old mate.
Good. He can join others on my wall.
Actually, in Finland, we have serious animal welfare legislation. And my friend Helga, she got arrested, yeah, for killing a butterfly that was hovering over her fuel thing. I mean, in English, jam sandwich.
I used to know a girl called Jam Sandwich. She was a right cracker too. What became of her?
We seem to be wandering a little from the news here.
That's human interest, Jeremy. The real people behind the headlines and all that. So if you're watching, Jan, give us a call.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see if we can't organise a reunion.
Crash, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to run it past Mrs. Clement first, eh?
Peter, you're like man trying to empty ashes of mistresses into oncoming vent. Soon you have tiny penis and beard full of secrets.
In Finland, we don't really go in for all that restricted monogamy stuff here. We're kind of forward, actually.
Okay, well, it seems that we are running out of time.
Yes, so before we go to the break, briefly, if you would, gentlemen, with the people of this country facing shortages and
possible shortages and power outages.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Possible shortages and power outages. Can you summarise your thoughts for us, Minister Björk?
Well, from here, yeah, you all look a bit stupid really arguing about outdated divisive concepts like money. In Finland, we replaced currency with a system of bodily fluids back in the 1970s. And that's sanction, actually.
Thank you, Minister Votovich.
Your country is like man who think he invented perfect trap for giant Newton hairy bear. When really, he's just standing in field
holding his tiny penis, yes. Thank you, Minister. And finally, Prime Minister Clement.
Let me talk to your viewers here, Jeremy. Don't worry, everybody. Don't be afraid. Don't even lose a wink of sleep. We knew the rest of the world would react this way, and we're ready. As my old man used to say, you can't make a shite pie without blocking a few toilets.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Reassuring words there.
We'll be back
after these messages.
1 minute back.
Hey, Peter. I over your way this weekend. You fancy a quick 9?
Yeah, sure. Front or back?
That's what I hope you're asking Megan Wolf for me.
This territory is changing fast, and that makes other countries uncomfortable. But that won't stop us. And we intend to make sure that in these challenging times, every citizen gets their fair share of the abundant, nutritious food we grow right here in the territory.
This is important. New government censorship should show up in same as regular censoring. Keep an eye out for the advanced blue waveform.
Will be left behind. So you can carry on coming together to enjoy life and make wonderful memories.
Still meant to bow.
Because we've shown our international friends what's possible when we all pool our.
Hang on. Have they given you the Crown Prince report?
What?
Megan?
This is Jeremy, and he'll be interviewing you.
Oh.
Yo, thanks for having me on your show, man.
It's quite all right.
Yo, just a quick one. You're not going to ask me about the chimp, are you?
Live in 10 seconds.
People that get up on himself. I'm just saying.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back, I'm Megan Wolf. Later, we have an exclusive first look at a theatrical sensation everyone's going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest. Jeremy.
Thanks, Megan. I have the honour and privilege of being joined by hip-hop royalty. He's been called the son of the streets and the father of truth. Not sure how that works, but whatever. Let's welcome Jesus!
Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, it's a real honour to be here on your show, The News. You know, as a kid on the streets, I used to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
You've had quite the journey to be here today. Can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to, well, you know, the past is the past, and I don't like to dwell on it.
I understand. You
But yeah, man, the streets is all I remember. Like, my mother donated me to a charity shop soon after I was born. Elderly lady took pity on me. You know, she let me sleep on a pile of crime fiction until I taught myself how to walk.
Wow, that's quite the childhood.
And she died tragically, right there in my arms, man. You know, I remember a tear falling as she laid there next to the used homeware. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets. I was just 18 months old.
What a tale. What a tale. You're known for your direct and honest lyrics. Was your style informed by your troubled past?
Oh, like I said, I try not to talk about it. It's just too hard.
Of course.
But my first album is about the story of the first 4 times I stole, so I wouldn't starve. A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They call me Mr. Cheese Slice. Anyway, we were like a family.
So it would seem. Recently, you've been quite outspoken about the government.
Yeah, fuck the government. Fuck Advance. Fuck Peter Clement.
What is it that you object to so vehemently?
Well, you know, they stole from us. They're taking our money and spending it, man.
Redistributing it. Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated in the last couple of months.
So?
Surely that's a cause close to your heart?
Yeah. Nah, of course, man. Very much so. I just mean, like, why do I have to pay for it, you know?
You don't. People have been rehoused on property seized from the historically wealthy. And that couldn't have been you, could it?
Look, yeah. I worked hard to be here. I built this from nothing, and I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Would you say you worked harder than, say, a farmer or a care worker?
I don't know.
所以我要盖掉政府不想让我们听到的声音，我才能赚到钱。
Who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children? Mr. Cheese Slice.
What is it you're trying to say?
I just don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological or is it tactical?
Well, it's more of
or
like...
maybe it's hereditary.
Stop trying to tie me in knots with your words, Jeremy. I let the music speak for itself. And the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen. But you have given me a very easy segue out of a conversation that I promise you was much more painful for me than it was for you. So here he is with his hit song, Mrs. Ludlow's Tears.
Oh, no. I'm going to do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh, so this is unapproved, is it?
You love it?
Excellent. Don't worry, we've got a state-of-the-art censorship system. What's the worst that could happen? So here he is with a new song. Aren't we lucky? It's Jesus!
First, you're gonna pay up. You're gonna pay back.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel the elation from your participation. Still 2 leaders in this motherfucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why does Julius require a massive fucking mansion? So fuck all your schemes. I don't need your freaky team, and I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams.
我是连蓝色都要消掉。
So don't make a fuss when you find you're one of us. Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive. But why would I get out of bed with no fucking incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention. I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the praise of the crest of the wave. Cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Take this fact, gonna stain it red. Gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. It's time to motherfucking pitchfork. So this is for the snubbed ones, the pushed and the shoved ones, the folks that feel the burden of their motherfucking loved ones. Ones who had plenty like a motherfucking Bentley. The ones who now finding that their bank accounts are empty. The ones of aspiration who had to flee a nation. The ones who built a business out of dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil. It only takes a glance to see we're not all equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the praise of the crest of the waves. Cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red. Gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to pull a castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets. Set a fire in the building, let them feel some fucking heat. Say you hate to go getters, you're squilling betters, and burn them on the powers of advances fucking letters. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red. Gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head. Cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to storm the castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Chase that dream, you don't need a fucking team. And advances, little dances aren't as harmless as it seems. Cause they're stale and corrupt, then you're angry, corrupt. Then your hearts and your minds and your fists to destruct.
我靠，磕到超多的，我要逼超多段的，这样拿到钱吗？
Jay's us there with his new song. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. I'm sorry. I may not agree with you, but I'd just like to offer you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs, and an attempt was made to censor some of your lyrics.
What? Are you joking?
I'd just like to say to you and everyone at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral, unbiased, and independent of any outside interference. You have my word. We will never censor ideas.
哎，我要成功了，挣到钱。
Well, a bit of dangerous language there, sorry about that. Well, thank you to little Jeremy Donaldson for providing our culture spot. Coming up, we'll be speaking to a couple of familiar faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
That's the ad.
Just a reminder, fixing that old VCR.
This is
ridiculous. Last ad break.
It's just a mix-up, I'm sure. Now, if you come with me, I really do have to ask
Oh,
you to
trust me.
leave.
My father's going to hear about this.
I understand.
他什么？
This is unbelievable, Megan.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jeremy.
C， 对啊，他刚说什么？刚刚说他怎样？法拉德要吃药不 ？OK。好，不管他。
Here we go.
Oh, shut up, stop it.
Look at him.
If we could just get you in position.
Oh, say no more. Say no more.
Megan, Jeremy,
Yes,
do
and
you remember Mr. Algebra?
Vividly.
And Mr. Harris, and this is Ms. Radin.
Right.
Philippa, please.
We're back together again, eh? Who'd have thought?
That's really
Perhaps a
important.
low-order demon.
Yes, it is awfully exciting, isn't it?
Right, okay then. We're going live in 10 seconds, opening on camera 1.
Try. Cheers.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome Welcome back. And no, you're not mistaken. Sitting across from us are some very familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by national treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philippa Rayton, and National Deficit Jeff Algebra.
It's so lovely to have you all. Tommy, would you like to tell us about the show?
You know what? I'd bloody love to. It's about me. It's about my life.
And where did the idea come from?
So, right, picture this. Their legs akimbo, mid-session, sweat is pouring out of me like an immense hog. And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, he comes to training sometimes. He's actually a pretty good goal sweeper. Anyway, so, yeah, Pete, he says, Toby, he thinks my name's Toby, see? He says, how would you like to spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured nation? How would you like to really make a difference in these desperate times?
What did you say?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, Jeff, the question on everyone's lips is, what in God's name are you doing here?
Well, after the success of my debut work and all the people that I've touched, I knew that I had a career in theatre. Yeah? I've always been an admirer of Tommy from afar. So when my manager phoned and said that I'd been offered the gig as director, I was ecstatic. I whipped my trousers off and got straight to work.
Why did you do that?
I do all my best work with my trousers off.
Yeah, I've been told that too.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Right, Tommy, sorry, would you just give us a sense of what the show is actually about?
It's about how hard it's been for me and some of the struggles that I've faced. It like really getting to the heart of how tough it is to be me. I call it Tommy Harris, Jesus, that was hard.
Catchy. We actually have some clips of the process of the show. Would you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around two things that are very important to me. It mixes scenes from my life as well as epic fantasy retellings of scenes from my life.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
I'm sorry, son. But you're an embarrassment.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
Back, demon! Back to the hells!
巫师版的吧。
Philippa, what's it been like co-starring with Tommy Harris?
I've always dreamed of treading the boards at medium-scale regional theatres, Megan. And for once, this show really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show, then?
Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range as an actor. I've always suffered from typecasting, forced to play the same tired characters in every god-awful yogurt advert or godforsaken soap opera or, God forbid, a pantomime. But, you know, this show has really let me just go there.
Jeff, the viewers at home will be dying to know exactly what is it that you bring to the show?
Oh, good question. I think these guys would agree with me when I say that it's my steady hand on the tiller, my arm round the shoulder approach that's really brought the production from strength to strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable. He was our rock.
Can you give us a sneak peek of anything else that might be in the show?
Yeah, all sorts, yeah.
Yeah. We've got lots of exclusive first-hand experiences of Tommy's time in the underground sports war scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
在干嘛？我们都一样。
You'll never take the sacred pass!
And am I right in saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which, you know,
都是纳税人花的钱。
is actually a lifesaver, really.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that without Advance's support, we'd have had to cut the finale.
Which frankly would have been a travesty.
Oh God, Jesus Christ!
巫师版交通协议有什么
You
意
do
思
this every night.
Absolutely. It's a metaphor.
For what?
Death.
and the public are footing the bill, are they?
Too bloody right they are. Between the cost of my tour bus and the dry cleaning of my ties, I'm barely scraping a profit here.
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing
all over the nation. And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that incredible, Jeremy?
Yes, it's unbelievable, Megan.
Well, thank you all so much for coming. Next time we see you, no doubt, you'll have taken our jobs.
yeah.
That's all we have time for tonight. Join us tomorrow when I'll be interviewing the world's most attractive horse. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. And from all of us here, have a peaceful night.
That's the ads. Let's get reset for tomorrow, please.
Hey, we must stop bumping into each other like this, eh?
Oh,
我刚没有放进去啊。广播完成 A 加，哦，还行。评价 A， 还行，得到一点点奖金。政府下降了，然后反叛者上升，导播很喜欢我。还要再玩一场吗？再玩一场好，再玩一场就我就要先去吃饭了。未来之事的预兆，在制裁发生之前，购物是一件乏味的事情，那成了一件苦差事。你明天还得再来。当你前面坐这辆车离开之后，你还发现出口设置了检查站。晚上好，我们看到你的团队会员卡。对不起，我没有卡。啊，没关系，我可以帮你注册。这些卡不是必须的吧？当然不是必须，但很好处，没有理由不来一张。不要，我不想要。显然我不能逼你注册，但我强烈建议这么做，而且是尽快。干嘛有业绩压力是不是？值得无视的邀请啊！今天星期六，你的休息日之一，充分利用这一天。钉在冰箱上的邀请函斥责地盯着你。第一频道晚会将强制性的工作活动，不准迟到。您因错过今年结婚纪念日，不能放弃另一个责任。哦，值得无视的邀请，好吧，拜拜。那不是我的问题，至少现在不是。后果将是周一的问题，好像很惨的。我觉得我要死了。我不是要卖肾吗？酷热篇。
Excessively due to the current heat wave. When they get too hot, the trip switch will blow, as you've seen. Once things have cooled down and the trip switch is back to normal, you can get the power back on. You should keep the fan pointed at the correct valve by aiming it up and down. The middle gauge when you're facing the screens will warn you, so keep an eye on it. Also, maintenance tells me that the fan power switch occasionally turns off for no good reason, so keep an ear open for that too. I'm sure you've already worked all this out though, Alex. You're a rising star in this network and we're all very
What,
proud
you've got
of you.
someone to hose down the sun, have you?
Yes, they've just strapped on their wax wings.
Classical illusions are no substitute for air conditioning.
You know, I genuinely thought you'd be in a better mood today. She's not even here.
Yes, but he is. Our gun-toting handler.
Who, Andy?
I don't know what the fuck his name is, do I?
He's here to keep us safe from people like Disrupt.
More like keep us in line. I hate guns. Give me the willies.
10 seconds, everybody.
So, very actual real news tonight.
Well, the world's on fire. That good enough for you? Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Siege mentality. The World Council today established a military blockade to enforce the unjust and punitive sanctions now entering their 10th week. In a statement from team headquarters a short time ago, Prime Minister Julia Salisbury issued a commanding response to this unprovoked escalation.
Ever since these illegal sanctions were imposed, we have gratefully relied upon trade and aid from our worldwide friends who, like us, refuse to recognize their legitimacy. Today's escalation, however, is nothing short of an act of war. We call upon our international allies to condemn this blockade, absolutely. And we warn aggressors to this country that we are neither meek nor defenseless. Thank you.
Fall from grace. Once a celebrated role model in the world of sports, Johnny Hamsleys has fallen to new lows. After his failed TV comeback attempt, time seemed to be hard for this former athlete who was photographed this week on the streets of the capital in what a former teammate called an unrecognizable state. It seems the faded footballing legend has resorted to panhandling to make ends meet, after losing his sizable fortune and any remaining public respect. One witness even claimed they'd seen Johnny with a sign stating, "We'll do kicks for ham." In it to win it. Exciting news from Advance today with the announcement of a new monthly prize draw for all team membership card holders. Every month, lucky winners from across the country will be picked at random to receive what Team HQ are describing as unique prizes worth more than money used to be. Take-up on the scheme has been much higher than expected, and if this lucky winner's delighted face is anything to go by, it looks like pretty soon everyone's going to have one. Kiss me, Flardy. The nation's favourite all-rounder, the humble Flard, has risen to new heights today after a surprise announcement. The news that Flard fans all over the territory have been waiting for is finally here. In a statement met with universal delight, Remington's Fist unveiled the next chapter for their faithful family favourite, the Flard. Lawrence Blunderclatch and Helena Canterbury Boatshoe, rumoured to be mortal enemies, are to reunite to celebrate their one mutual love in Die Flard, the movie. Self-confessed Flardy, Sophia Remington, said, "It's only right that the real hero of our age takes centre stage in this no-holds-Flard action thriller." Leaders shipping out. The trapped scientists undertaking a bold escape from Dante's taint have revealed which of their two erstwhile leaders will spearhead their journey to freedom. While throughout their careers it's been clear that Doctors Wong and Swarsborg and Horgensford have worked best together, it seems one of them is now going to be taking a back seat. Dr. Wong has always been the riskier of the pair, willing to push further and faster in the name of progress. We all remember his now infamous exploding chimp trial. Let's hope that getting the team home sooner doesn't mean they cut too many corners. Life during wartime. As if we didn't have enough aggressors on our borders, internal problems are growing for the government as radical activist group Disrupt caused chaos in Parliament Park last night. Scuffles broke out after the protests, resulting in multiple arrests and the injury of 3 community cohesion officers. Advance have yet to comment. The reckless fire will certainly be remembered by all those who have seen these striking images. As their actions escalate, people across the country are asking themselves, who are Disrupt and what exactly do they want? Other than a new box of matches, of course. All this, and I'll be talking to some people with fascinating medical conditions, as well as one of the contenders in this year's Feline Football Championship, and her proud owner. That's all up on tonight's National Nightly News.
又来了。我怎么知道热量过高啊？ 手把还正了，我看一下。
But first tonight, our team of correspondents has been dispatched to every corner of the country to see how the people of this great nation of ours are coping with this unprecedented hot weather. First, let's go to Megan Wolf in Shining-on-Sea to see what the scientific community has to say. Megan, how's the weather there?
It's absolutely glorious, Jeremy. Thank you for asking. I'm here with Dr. Anna Burns of the University of Princeford. Are you enjoying the weather as much as I am?
Oh, yes, it's wonderful.
News.
Would you rather she was here with you?
And you're part of a team carrying out a study into just what's causing this unbelievable heat, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, we want to be able to reassure the public once and for all that there's absolutely nothing to worry about and that they can enjoy their
who is lovely, apparently,
in peace.
You sound very confident about that.
Oh, very much so. I can say without any hesitation, there's really no cause for any concern here. I've actually left my car running.
Tell us about this experiment.
Well, we take data from weather stations from all over the world, along with atmospheric samples, and we take all that and we feed it into this state-of-the-art computer, and very soon we'll be getting a high-tech readout of the reads.
Very fancy.
I should just say, none of this would be possible without the generous support of Remington's Fist. This is all thanks to their unrivaled investment in our future, and may I just say, complimentary personal anecdote. Oh, here we go. And, as expected,
I'm not talking to you,
is absolutely fucked. Hang on. This can't be right.
Right, but obviously you said a second ago that everything is absolutely fine, so... Yeah.
Well, actually, under concern level, it just says, why, God, why?
We should be celebrating these wonderful results, I think. There we are.
We need to evolve gills within 40 years.
You look thirsty.
Here it just says, shit.
Look at you. This is meant to be a celebration. Can't go around looking like that.
Shit.
There you go. Much better. Can I just say thank you again to Sophia for providing all of this.
Everyone, we don't have long. Time is running out.
It's running out. Absolutely right. That is all we have time for.
Abandon hope and return to the forest.
There you are. Enjoy that. I'd like to thank Dr. Burns for just one opinion on the climate.
The sea will reclaim us all.
There you have it, Jeremy. Proof, if proof be need be, that everything is just fine. I'm Megan Wolfe, here with science. Back to you.
Megan Wolfe there, attempting to do some actual news. Next, heads over to Robin Short.
Why are you doing this?
Of this week's team membership lottery. Robin?
Thanks, Jeremy. I'm here in Scritchford with Gary Failsafe, a janitor at the local school, and Amelia Jackhammer, an aspiring poet. Both of you were drawn at random from those who hold team membership cards to receive this week's amazing prize. How do you feel?
Filled with fervent euphoria.
Yeah, good, yeah.
And all that we had to do was fill in a quick form or two.
Wow, that sounds so convenient. But we're all dying to know, what have you won?
That's right, Robin. I've won dinner with Julia Salisbury at one of the capital's top restaurants.
And I've been invited to Peter Clement's house to help him dredge the guttering.
That's absolutely terrific. You must both be over the moon.
I've written a poem about it.
So, can you tell me about the moment when you first heard the news?
Well, I was battling against a particularly difficult floater, probably one of the sixth floors, when the headmaster came and found me.
I was involved in a similarly brutal conflict with a particularly arduous stanza.
So you were both polishing turds?
No, I don't like to polish them. I like to keep them intact for my collection.
Oh.
Yeah.
How unexpected.
I don't...
Not that.
Words. I write poetry.
Potato. So, Gary...
Do you think Peter Clement's going to let me keep the contents of his downpipe?
Yeah.
There's no harm in asking, I suppose.
Would you like to hear one?
No, thank you. Gary, when you signed up for team membership, was it in hopes of winning the lottery, or were there other reasons?
I like a flutter, of course, but no, the boss said I had to sign up to keep coming into school.
Very sensible. It's important to know who we're trusting around our children.
Oh, I have an unpublished book of sonnets about children. Perhaps you'd like to hear one.
No!
Or an anthology of haikus on the death of innocence.
I'd rather hear about Gary's turd collection.
Really? I thought you might say that.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh.
Are you all right?
Yes, it's coming.
很怪声音哎。
It's inspiration and it's delicious.
Right you are.
Today on the show there's no news. Just a man who keeps multiple poos.
This big one's my favourite. See how it's fibrous, really lovely texture.
Would you encourage other people to enter for their chance to win?
If it's colour you're looking for, gander at all blue eyes here.
Oh God.
The national news lost its way when it covered some crap on a tray.
Some of these are quite rare.
Maybe that was unfair.
And that's all we have time for today. Back to you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Robin. What a lucky pair they are. And finally in this segment, it's over to Patrick Bannon, who's gone to the smelliest town in the country to see how the unprecedented weather is affecting the locals. Patrick?
Hello there, Jeremy. Hello, yes. I'm here live in Grizzleford, which has recently voted the smelliest town in the country. And I have to say that, you know, in this heat, the smell really is. I mean, it's
I'm picking up that you might...
Barry Lardons, mate. You've lived here your whole life. How'd you put up with the stink?
Well, we're just all very proud of our achievement, to be honest with you.
You can tell that. Look at him, proud as punch.
Do you know what it's like, son, being the second smelliest town?
No, I don't.
Living in the shadow of Arseminster. Those smug fucks. But who's laughing now, eh?
Say what, not me, that's for sure.
Peelings.
So what happened, mate?
Right, the good people from Remington's Fist came in and saved the day with their factory.
You're talking, of course, about the newly built Flard factory.
Yeah, they gave us this big presentation on jobs and growth. But as soon as we heard about the stench, we paid them whatever they wanted to put it here.
Does the stink not affect your life in every way, Barry? I mean, perhaps if you're filling in a tax return or completing the physical act of love.
It's strong at first, but you get used to it after several weeks of your first bout of sickness. The judges were very impressed.
Huh? So what's the sickness?
Oh, that's nothing to worry about. It takes a few minutes before you develop any symptoms. Now, folk are saying something about the production line and how they dump carcasses directly into the water main, but I think it's probably the fume valves on the high street.
On the high street? Should I see a doctor? What are the symptoms?
Well, the first one is asking stupid questions. Then folk experience a loss of inhibition.
Fuck off, do they? When was the last time you brushed your teeth, you stinking old tramp?
Next according is a period of randomly bursting into song, followed immediately by delusions of grandeur.
Oh, that's not really a problem, little song of my life. Hello, it's sexy Patrick Bannon, and he's wearing sexy shorts now. Oh my God, look at me. I'm like a stallion. I'm gorgeous, why didn't you tell me? I should take my shirt off. You know what? I'll even let you touch me if you want.
That will be the bout of undeserved self-confidence.
Love the Bannon, feel the Bannon. Oh, man, what's the point?
And the ennui. All that's left now are the hallucinations and unconsciousness.
Is that you? Why are you made out of elbows? You know I don't eat opinions.
Oh, don't worry, folks. Once he wakes up, he'll be just fine. We'll just find a place to stick him where it won't matter how many times he evacuates his bowels. Right, that's all here from Grizzleford, a town that's really making a stink. I'm Barry Lardons. Back to you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Barry. With a naval blockade being set up around our coastline as we speak, when we come back, I'll be talking to 3 members of the general public who appear to be here purely for medical reasons. Don't go away. Unless, of course, you've got something better to do. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute
This next section features a potentially controversial guest. Advance may request some censorship if he goes too off topic. You've done a great job so far keeping everyone happy, so let's keep up the good work.
And I can't do this anymore.
You say this every Friday.
I've done something.
What do you mean? Jeremy?
My mic is still live.
成绩 A 加。哦。
That's what I'm talking about? Cat football? We should be doing an interview with the War Minister, or a report from Grantham Downs. Even the weather will be more fucking relevant than this.
Jeremy, please, just breathe. It's just something light to keep people's minds off things.
Exactly, which is wrong. People's minds should be very much on things. Christ, it's so fucking hot.
Please take your seats as quickly as you can.
I can't do this anymore, Jenny. I've had enough. That's it. This is just
10 seconds. Get over yourself, Jeremy. Why don't you stop feeling sorry for yourself for 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News with me, your host, Jeremy Donaldson. Later, we'll be talking to the captain of the territory's first club football team, Professor Pumpkin. Oh. But first, I'm joined by 3 guests with some balmy bodily behaviours. Joining me is a woman who's been hiccuping for over 9 months. Isn't that right, Miss Piercy?
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Tell us, what brought all this on?
Well, it's all a bit of a blur, Jeremy, to be totally frank with you. So I was watching your show and I remember seeing the news about the election and it hasn't stopped since.
Fascinating stuff. Also, Frankie's steam pipe. Perhaps you could explain to us exactly what your physiological fourboil is.
I'm here to say it's high time people like me were respected. We're constantly overlooked in the workplace, we're whispered about on buses, and we're asked politely to leave children's birthday parties. And it's disgusting. I'm sorry, my bowels have comic timing.
And finally, I'm joined by a man who answers every question honestly, even when it isn't aimed at him. How do you cope with that, Mr. Truman?
With a combination of booze, self-hatred, and hardcore pornography.
Is that right?
Not according to my therapist.
Well, in that case, let's speak to Rose. Tell me, how does the hiccuping impact you?
I get shushed a lot, which is hard.
At
work, they've asked me to stop answering the phones. It's really affected my confidence.
Well, I find it really fucking irritating.
Do people tend to believe your story?
Fuck no.
Actually, I've been surprised at how much support I've received.
And Frankie, why have you come here today?
Because my wife left me, and I was hoping that the fame would win her back.
We've started a group for people with ailments deemed broadly comical by society. It's called Take Us Seriously.
That's right. And we bloody well mean it.
And who's joined so far?
A bunch of fucking losers.
It's just us so far.
And how much success have you had?
Well, we've seen some real positive changes.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's been a runaway success.
Shit all. Not a single person come to our fun run, and all of our leaflets fell in the canal.
Well, Miss Piercy, some people are saying your condition was actually caused by the shocking events of that night. What do you think?
Come down, Mr. Donaldson, that's absolute rubbish.
What it'd be like to have a pair of tits.
Could you? I'm sorry, it's very hot. What was I thinking?
That you're a team fuck puppet?
No.
Or a sellout cunt?
Apologies. Just a reminder that he can't help it. And hey, if this isn't live television, then what is it?
A fuckfest of propaganda masquerading as journalism.
Right, Frankie, Rose, tell us, how can the viewers get involved with your cause?
Yes, we're holding a sponsored run in the park next weekend. It's called the No Smiles 13 Miles.
No, it's called the No Laugh Half. What did I say before the show?
That it was the team pulling Jeremy Donaldson's strings.
No, I didn't say
Wow, we
that.
may have to end that there, unfortunately. What a harmless bit of fun.
Steady on!
This is exactly what I'm talking about. We demand respect.
Yes, well, later, I'll be talking to Professor Pumpkin, a ginger tabby with a world-class pair of penalty paws. Is that really necessary?
No, it isn't. Let go. Not you.
Unhand him at once. Enough! That's enough! Enough!
What are you doing?
Trying not to piss myself.
Alex, cut.
Don't you dare! Don't you fucking dare cut to the ads before I tell you to. Now, you in the broadcast centre, Bozeman's little scapegoat, you listen to me. You cut to the ads before I tell you to, and I will kill every single person in this studio. I am thinking about what I'm doing. I've been thinking about it for a long time. We all should be. Christ, it's so fucking hot! Do you remember when we used to do the real news? Before it was all lottery winners and bloody cat football? We are on the brink of a siege the likes of which the world hasn't seen in hundreds of years. The enemy is at the gates, and I'm stuck here talking to these 3 fucking idiots.
I think my hiccups have stopped.
You three, get the fuck out of my studio. Go on, now, go, before I change my mind.
收视率超高。
Jenny, lock the doors. Lock the doors.
Yes, Jeremy.
Now. Good. Yes. Now. Right then. You in the broadcast centre. Alex, you listen to me. You pay attention. Now, I'm sure you've already loaded up exactly what you're going to play in the commercial, but today is going to be a little bit different. Look to your right.
我已经按了，我已经放了。
Look to your right. There is a VHS tape, and I want you to load it into one of the machines. And when I say so, and not before, you play it. You've got about 15 seconds, so I wouldn't waste any time. Now, all cameras.
I assume you won't be playing that tape. This station does not negotiate with terrorists. I hope I've made myself clear. You seem to know what to do.
Every single thing that comes out of this studio is either one-sided or banal. We're going to show the other side for a bit. For a bit of fucking balance. Like the good old days.
我会帮你的杰洛米。
Alex, play the fucking tape. Now, I don't want to hurt any of you. If I see anything I don't like, I will not hesitate to start.
Alex, you're going to get me in trouble with that. Let's hope you made the right call.
Reset the system for the third segment. I imagine the ratings are going to be through the roof.
没错，收视率破表 ，A 加，老板可能很不高兴。
We are the resistance. It's time you knew the truth.
长得像吹狂魔。
You know advance are lying to you. You know the elderly are not a burden. You know the rich were not all evil. And you know the team membership card is an ID card, no matter what they try to tell you. But why should you trust us? Another faceless organization. A shadowy figure with a distorted voice. You've seen it so many times in the movies.
那杰洛米怎么办？
Well, this is not a movie.
谁啊你？
My name is Alan James. I used to try and shock people for a living, for entertainment. But now we live in a time where perhaps you need to be shocked. Perhaps we need to wake up. Advance are coming for our freedoms. They are coming for the fruits of our labours. They will take our wealth. They will euthanize our parents and smiling throughout. They will turn our children against us if we voice our concerns. But you don't have to accept it. A great many people already won't. You can resist. You can disrupt. Find us. With us. Join us.
So what now?
It isn't hard.
I don't know.
We're everywhere.
This wasn't what I planned. I mean, some of it was. I had a speech, look. But this was unexpected.
So what now, Jeremy?
It was supposed to be your day off.
God, please, don't do any more stupid things today.
How long? How long, Jenny?
You're already live.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Joining me, unexpectedly, for what I very much imagine will be my last broadcast, are two new guests. Jenny works here at the National Nightly News and is someone I consider, well, a friend. And next to her is... What's your name?
Andy.
Andy's a policeman. Only we don't call him that anymore. He's a community cohesion official.
Officer.
Sorry?
It's community cohesion officer, CCO.
And how's that feel, Andy? Being rebranded?
It's good. It's not about confrontation anymore. You know, the force had its fair share of problems. The team doesn't have as many.
But it still has some.
I couldn't say.
Couldn't or wouldn't?
I don't know what you want me to say.
Christ, you're fucking useless, aren't you? We'll come back to you later. Jenny?
I don't want to be on the news, Jeremy.
That's perfectly understandable. You'd want to do this. Jenny, why did you join the National Nightly News team?
I always wanted to work in news.
Yes, but why specifically this program? The National Nightly News.
It was the news everyone trusted.
Was.
Is. Do you really want to quibble semantics at gunpoint?
Is there something else you'd rather discuss?
Well, there is a great big Alan James-sized elephant in the room you seem to be ignoring.
What do you mean?
I saw your face when that hood came down. You didn't know, did you?
It's about the message, not the messenger.
Like I said, you didn't know.
No. I didn't know. The people I met were with... He wasn't there.
God,
I didn't know it was Alan James.
I'm sorry. But seriously, Alan fucking James. You're flushing your life down the toilet for... God, I love you, Jeremy, but...
He's a good speaker. He's popular in the country.
That right?
But forget Alan James. There is still something deeply wrong. And you know it, Jenny. And you know it, Andy. And you at home, you know it too. Meanwhile, I'm interviewing a guest who stinks of shit. Patrick is paddling about in shit. And Robin is literally interviewing someone who collects the fucking stuff. I mean, it's not sophisticated, but what a metaphor. We are sleepwalking our way into oppression, and the news isn't saying anything. We're not saying anything.
Says who? Alan fucking James.
What are all those scientists working on at Grantham Downs? What are they testing underground at Altergrave? Andy, your turn. Make yourself fucking useful. How many people have you brought in for consultations just because they weren't carrying or didn't have team membership cards?
Oh, well, there's other forms of identification that we will accept.
For how long?
We're just here to help.
Then why do you need these?
说得真好。
Not really help when it's offered at gunpoint, is it, Andy? Let me demonstrate it for you. Let me help you. You read these cards with my notes on it, and you'll probably digest a fact. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it, Andy? Knowing a fact?
What? I don't understand.
Do you want my help,
Yes,
Andy?
yes, whatever you say, yes.
Security are here, Jeremy.
Eat it.
What?
Eat the fucking news, Andy, or I'll force it down your fucking throat.
Jeremy, stop.
Go on.
Really?
Eat it. Eat it, you fucking bully.
Jeremy, stop. They will kill you. Please, don't make me watch that.
Of course. You're right. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. You can put the card down now, Andy. You can go now. You too, Jenny. Fuck off over there. We're nearly done. All cameras on me. This new regime of ours is so seductive. I understand that. But before we all hand off our freedoms, should we ask to whom we're handing them over? Don't you want to know what's being done in your name? How many people were transitioned last month? A record high. Again, if you care. Shouldn't someone ask Advance how they plan to deal with this blockade? How many years or months of supplies we have? Why aren't we asking these questions instead of, whose shit is this? There's a cat backstage dressed as a fucking goalie, for Christ's sake. He's even got the little gloves. Anyway, that's why I arranged for you to see that broadcast in the last break. I didn't know it was going to be him, but I guess that just about sums it up. We are all up Ship Creek with a paddle made of Alan fucking James. Christ, it's all so fucking pointless. I was going to quit tonight. Take a holiday. Try something else. Out of the limelight. Maybe try having a relationship. I hear they're nice. Never tried it. I loved the news. And now, well...
God, Jeremy, don't!
I've tried my best to be honest with you, but this just isn't the news anymore. And I'm sorry.
Dad.
I've lost this
Alex.
fight.
Alex, think of the consequences. boxes.
I'll let you down.
Please, we can't show this cut to the ads.
My name's Jerry
Now!
Donaldson.
Do it now!
If you can, somehow. And I envy you if you can. Have a peaceful night.
Jeremy!
哇哦，这游戏做的真绝！新挑战已解锁，还有挑战啊！哦，你得到一大笔奖金，还没达到收支平衡，为什么会有奖金啊？可是球迷死了欸，然后老板还是很爱我。OK， 好，我们今天玩到暴气主播站出来用他的生命挑战这个世界，哇！这游戏突然给我一个很大的震撼，对吧？原本想说看他在播啥小够无聊的，然后突然给我跳脱这一出，这应该就是我们太过于偏向反政府组织而造成的后果，对吧？哎呦喂，好了，那今天下午先玩到这边啦，晚上再玩贝欧妮塔。然后这个游戏的话，就看什么时候有空再把它破一破了。好，那今天下午就玩到这边，感谢各位收看，我是 BN， 大家午安，拜拜。